Welcome to We Geek Podcast. Today is January 31st. It's our 128th episode. My name is Adam, joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up, man? How's your weekend been?
Oh, you know, same old, same old. Another week, another delivery driver gets robbed around here.
Jeez, I saw that. Holy shit, man.
3 in 3 weeks. I'm going in tomorrow. I'm taking the paper in tomorrow. I don't work there tomorrow. I work my theater job tomorrow. But I'm going in the morning, put that on the manager's desk and saying, I'm not delivering nights. Not happening.
Yeah.
Man. No way.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, was it in your area?
Yeah. All three of these have been in our delivery area.
Oh, Jesus.
They haven't been to us, thank God. But,
Yeesh.
you know, and nobody's been hurt, which is great because it's just been, you know, here's a flashlight in your face so you can't see me. Trust me, this is a gun. You can hear it. Give me the money and the pizzas. And the drivers have said, okay, take it because, you know,
Right.
this is not worth it.
Of course.
But,
Yeah.
You know, and this happened a block. This happened Monday at 8 o'clock, a block away from where I had a delivery Monday at 10 o'clock. It was insane. And I was just finding out about this today, and I'm like, nope, I'm not delivering around here after dark anymore. Not until they start making arrests or something.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Stay safe.
Yeah, not worth it. Because the training, because you know and I'm pretty sure it's the same for at least every pizza place around here. The quote unquote training that you get is all the corporate stuff. You know, it's like if a house looks sketchy or you don't feel safe, drive to an area where you feel safe and call that. Have you been around Statesville? I'm sorry. There are days where I really love this town, but you can't. Every place here looks sketchy. The nice places here look sketchy. Like you can't.
Yeah. And are you like expecting the guy to come out of to drive down the street to like the park or something to get a pizza?
Right. That's more dangerous.
Right.
No,
right.
I'm not gonna go to your house. You can meet me in this open field here. No, that's when you get robbed.
Now I've seen it where people will. I always have the light on, of course, and I have everything ready. I see the headlights. I kind of open the door. I say, hey, very friendly. Do people now? I've heard of people going to the street. Is that something that they would have you guys do? Like, have the customer come to your car, or would you feel more safe going to their door?
I would rather go to the door because if you're there at the car, then they're just gonna take the car too.
Oh wow!
I would because if you're up at somebody's door, because here's the thing: these are not the people living at the addresses robbing the pizza guys.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's the thing is it's a group or a couple different groups or whoever. They're not sure if it's all the same group or not, which I'm pretty sure it probably is.
Right.
That's just, you know, they see a pizza guy and they go, oh hey, there's one, and you know they head him off before they get to the door.
Wow.
What's happened the last couple times, or what I imagine happened this time, was it was a setup. They called in and said, you know, hey, I'm so-and-so with this number. It's probably a fake name and a fake number at this address, and they place an order, and the driver shows up, and they're just waiting for him.
Wow.
And the thing that bugs me, because the comment I keep seeing, given the part of North Carolina I live in, the biggest comment I see is, well, just let the drivers carry. No, because here's the problem with that. When the drivers are approached in these instances, at least one person in the group has their gun already out, according to all the police statements. So you could tell me this driver's walking along and he's got the pizza bag in one hand and, oh, here come these guys, and somebody's already got a gun out. If that driver goes to reach, he's going to get shot.
Yeah.
I mean, end of story. So what do they expect the driver to do? Get out with, you know, as soon as they get out of the car, draw, and just walk up to the door holding it? Like, I just don't get, there's just no logic here. to
Right.
that argument in this instance. There's just not, and it's not like, oh, I pulled
I
up.
don't think it's legal for you to be able to carry two either,
It's
right?
it's against. I know it's against company policy.
Right.
I'm
Okay. I
I'm
got
fuzzy on the laws around here because it's not anything I'm at all
it.
interested in really.
My buddies in or not Pennsylvania, Ohio does the same thing, and he carries, but it's against their policy to do it.
And,
And he does it to where he's never ever going to use it. I think it's for his own sanity, I guess, for him to feel safe, if that makes sense. He said that he's like, I would never use it, but uh, yeah, he actually no, he has like an office job, but when he was doing that,
Yeah.
he like felt he needed to carry just so he felt safe.
I
But I agree with you. These people are being set up.
yeah,
What are you gonna do except say, "Here's my money, go away, bye."
yeah.
You
I
know, you're
mean,
not gonna have a shootout at the OK Corral.
yeah, right. And I mean, it's not, just from what the police reports have said, they didn't drive up and see a group of guys standing there waiting for him. That's not, then yeah, sure, all right, fine. Get out with the bag in one hand and your sidearm in the other. But that's not what's happened here. They got out and they're going, "Oh, hey, I'm going to go make this delivery." And from around the corner or out from behind something,
Right.
here comes this ambush.
Right. Right.
That's how this has gone. So it's not there is no good solution here. I mean, I don't see.
I mean, the police officers really should just set up a sting constantly.
They talk about that, but I mean, here's the thing: we handle. I mean, this is once every week. It's been, but
Well,
even,
that's what I mean. Like
yeah,
now it's now they have like a real problem. If this is going to
yeah.
continue, they got to stop that.
But
yeah.
I mean, even so, I mean, we'll handle 30 deliveries a day. I mean, you can't send a cop out on all of them.
That's true.
I mean, it's probably the best idea that I've heard, but it's still not like there's no. I'm just gonna go in and say I'm not delivering after the sun goes down. Not happening. You put me on production, or what they'll probably do is just take me off the schedule again. But I mean, so be it. I make $4 and change an hour plus $1 for running the delivery instead of a mileage charge. So it's not even $6.
Get more.
Yeah.
So you can get more hours at the other job.
I can't do that right now because I've got Daytona coming up, so I have to take off for a week from there, which they're gonna be thrilled about. But yeah, that'd be a fun meeting. Hey, starting this week at my other job, I'm having fewer hours, so I can pick up some extra shifts here. Except I have to take off in 2 weeks.
Wow.
On Valentine's weekend, when Black Panther comes out, so it's not like you're gonna be too busy here with that and 50 Shades of Grey and everything. Oh yeah, they're gonna hate that. They're gonna absolutely hate me for that. But sorry, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
But
wow. Wait. So what weekend is that?
The 15th, 16th. Friday's the 15th. Thursday is Valentine's Day. It's the 14th.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So 15, 16. When's the race? What day's the race?
16th. No.
Oh, it's on a Friday.
17th.
Saturday.
No, Sunday. Because Friday's the 15th, isn't it?
No, Friday is the 16th, Saturday is the 17th, and Sunday's the 18th.
That's right, because I'm not going to be there on Thursday, which is the 14th.
Thursday's the 15th.
15th. So I am there on the 14th.
Yeah.
So Wednesday's the 14th. Oh, well, yeah.
Wednesday's the 14th.
Okay, that's where I had my days shifted down one.
Gotcha.
So I'll be there at least on Valentine's Day for that nonsense. Oh, it's going to be insane. Everybody's been talking about it because of 50 Shades. Like, because they've all been saying, like, don't judge it, because it comes out on the 6th. It actually comes out the week before. Because of Black Panther. But they're saying don't judge it really by that week. Go by the next week.
Right. Yeah, because that's when everyone's going to want to go see it.
That's when all the dates, they've been telling stories, and they said you think Bad Moms Christmas was bad for this,
right.
Like bring, come here during any time 50 Shades is out and just go in with a box of wine and see how many phone numbers you can walk out with.
Oh yeah.
Like, just
Y-
like, okay, well that's actually not the worst idea in the world, to be honest with you.
No, no, definitely not. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Yeah, man. So Black Panther's the week after that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
It's that Thursday. What is that Thursday? The 15th? I don't.
Uh,
I already forgot.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. The Thursday is the 15th. Yeah.
yeah. So it's that. It'll be that night. Oh
Oh,
goody.
I thought it was the 22nd.
Uh-uh. No, I don't think so.
Oh, Black Panther's the 15th.
I thought so. I thought it was. Am I
Um,
am I wrong? Am I off by a week?
no, you're probably right. I'm usually no,
I
you're right. 16th. You're right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
I thought, but I was like, hey, it won't be so bad.
Man, I've saw some of the people that went and saw it, and they loved it.
That's what I've been hearing. Like all the stuff from like early screenings and like the premiere and everything were like, holy crap, this is good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's good.
Um.
I kind of expect nothing less anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but especially for a first outing, like a sequel, I'll give a slide to. But like if they're gonna say, hey, here's this character's first solo film, like it needs to be a home run, and it looks like it is. So that's good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It definitely looks like it. Yeah. All the Twitter was just ablaze with it. People coming out. Like one of the guys was like, he was like, how can I explain like how good this is and blah blah blah. And then the other guy was like, yo, he was like, that was a moment, that was a movement, that had a message. And then one of the other guys to the right of him goes, tell me something that was bad about the movie. And the guy goes, I wish you would. Because he's like, you can't think of anything bad, and that's what I want to hear. That's the
Nice,
response I want to hear coming out of
nice.
that movie.
Uh,
Absolutely.
uh,
Um, but yeah, man, I can't wait for Black Panther. That's going to be so good.
yeah.
Um,
Between that and the new Purge poster, a lot of people are gonna be pissed off.
yeah, that new Purge poster, man,
I,
that's perfect. That
oh,
red cap.
I really hope I'm still at my theater job long enough so that once that movie has come and
You keep
gone, I can get a
saying that. Do you
poster.
think you're going to leave soon or something?
I don't know. It's weird over there.
It's
Like
not for you.
it's just well, there's a weird vibe going on right
What do you
now,
mean?
and I don't know. This is I'm not in the know over there like I am at my pizza shop, which is fine by me. I don't really I know too much about the drama at my pizza shop. I
Yeah.
don't need drama at two places. I don't know. It feels. I think it's partly because a lot of that crew was old Carmike crew.
Okay.
They were there before it got bought out, and things change when a different company comes in and takes over, and it's just I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a
Mhm.
weird vibe. I like it. I do. I like the job. I like the people. There's just a weird. I don't know. It's something in the air. It's just weird. It's not hostile, and it's not. There's not like there's gonna be a mutiny or anything. It's just a weird vibe. I don't know, but
Yeah. Did you see the Movie Pass issue? The beef they have with AMC right now?
there's a handful of
Right.
AMC theaters that it's not working at.
Right.
Um, and the weird thing is the back and forth between MoviePass going, yeah, they don't want to work with us, and AMC going, this is the first we're hearing about it.
Right.
And there's
Right.
but the thing is, like, it's only at a select handful. I think it's what, like a
It's only a
dozen,
handful.
maybe, like not even
Yeah.
that many. So
New York and LA. It's nothing near me.
yeah.
Nothing
Oh my
near.
God. Like I saw so many of the headlines like MoviePass not working at AMC theaters, and I was like, oh Jesus, here we go. And then
Right.
you actually read the article, and you're like, oh, it's not working at a few AMC
Right.
theaters. Like the reason that headline was written that way in so many places was because of the dueling narrative for one thing, but also because of whoever it was high up at AMC that made that very public statement about how much they did not they thought MoviePass was a terrible idea because eventually it's going to collapse and go bankrupt, and then people aren't going to want to go back to buying movie tickets the way they used to. And I can tell you firsthand that's a load of crap because people come in and buy tickets all the time.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely.
If it's not like everybody who comes in has a movie pass and then we sell like 4 tickets.
Right.
It's more the opposite, really.
Right.
But
It's still relatively unknown. When I tell people about it, only a few people heard of it, and the rest, their minds are just blown. They're like, "Oh my God, I
yeah,
want to get all of that." And yeah, I see it was 10 theaters, and it was some of the highest, um, like what the 10 top busiest locations for AMC,
yeah.
that were cut off because of the concessions, or they wanted like a $3 cut or something like that. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Worst case scenario, there's other theaters around me. There's Regal and stuff like that. But I feel bad for people who only have that AMC near them and they bought a movie pass.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
I'm with you
no.
on that. But if you're in a market like that where the only thing you're surrounded by is nobody lives in a place where there's just one giant theater. If you're in an area that's that populated that your local AMC is one of the top 10 busiest, there are
Right,
probably like 8 other different kinds of theaters
right,
within spitting distance. Like
right.
it's
Exactly.
it's not the end of the world, but I get it. You get used to a theater. You have favorites.
Yeah.
They may all be fine. They may all
Oh yeah.
be pretty much the same, even in some places. But
Mhm.
but you have ones that are just for whatever reason they're more comfortable. It may not even be the closest one, but
That
you like it better.
You're nailing it. That's exactly what it is for me. I don't live near the AMC near here. I've moved a little bit further away from it. There is a dozen movie theaters between me and that AMC, but that's the AMC I've went to since I was a teenager. They have always, every few years they put in new seats, they put in new stuff. It's the one with that Dolby theater. They really do take care of it. And it's the one I go to. It's the one I like, and I'll drive that far. But there's a Regal down the street from me, but the seats aren't as good. I just don't feel the same. This it just doesn't sound as well to me. So I'll go to the AMC. If I'm feeling lazy, I'll go to the Regal. But yeah, you just nailed me basically. I will drive the distance to go to that one.
Yeah, people have favorites. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't want to go. Let's go to this one. No, I don't want to go to that. It was like that in Sarasota. You had more or less basically two choices. You used to have three, and then they closed down the one that I really liked because it was closest to my house. Um, but you had two. You had Hollywood 20 downtown, which I think was a Regal, and then you had the AMC at the mall. And I went to the one at the mall just because there was usually parking. Like the
yeah,
one downtown had a parking garage next to it, and that thing was always a nightmare. Um,
mhm,
Objectively, I think the Hollywood 20 was probably a better. Like it looked a lot nicer, and it was
yeah.
huge. I mean, it was a 20. It was huge, but I just always went to the AMC. Like it was just. But I like that one better. It wasn't. It was farther, but I
Mhm.
mean, it was just that was the thing, was the parking. If it wasn't for it being downtown, I would have gone to the Hollywood 20. But you know, that's
Yeah.
just that's just how it is. And people get to be creatures of habit. You go to one so often that you're just like, oh yeah, we go to the movies, we go to that theater. Have you ever been to that one? No. Why not? No. Why? Well, we like this one. Oh, okay, fair enough. Same
Right.
movie. Like you know, I mean that's why theaters are trying so hard with all the premium stuff.
Yeah.
Not just the big theaters or the big seats, but like, oh no, we'll make your food and bring it to you. Hey, we have a bar. All that stuff. That's where all that's coming
Right.
from.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Once AMC got that, I'm like, all right. And I get the. It's such a shitty drink that I get too. The Long Island, strictly because you get more bang for your buck.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, the the AMC, yeah, it's just the one I go to around here. But I feel you, man. I feel you. Oh, what was I gonna say? I completely lost my train of thought.
oh no, we lost the train. Hey.
Yep. But
Uh,
I don't know where I was going with that movie pass thing, but yeah. Um, have you seen any movies recently? Because I feel like an idiot because I haven't.
um,
I've been too busy killing monsters. Yeah,
oh my god. So here's a quick work story.
yeah.
Uh, the other night, because I worked the night that Monster Hunter came out,
Mhm.
And there were a handful of us at concession, and our manager comes down and goes, "We're gonna get all this done because it's like this is when our last movie gets out." And then he added like 10 minutes and was like, "This is when everybody's gonna leave, and I'm leaving by 1 minute after." And just kind of did a whole thing about he did not want to be here at all. And we were all kind of like, "Oh man, this guy sounds pissed." And he said, "Because Monster Hunter comes out tonight, and god damn it, I'm going home and playing video games." And we all laughed and joked, and then immediately started cleaning stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. That's what I mean. Like stuff like that was fun. But
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
so yeah, like how is it? Tell me about it.
Oh man, wow! I was shocked at how much it drew me in. Now I've played the demos and stuff on the 3DS,
Right.
but don't get me wrong, I love the 3DS. I wish this was on the Switch, but the controls never felt right on the 3DS. Even with the little nub on the right hand side, it just never felt right because the game is very much like a Bloodborne when you're fighting, or kind of like a Souls or whatnot. Not like hard where like you're hit and you're dead, but like that's how the controls are,
Right.
where you feel heavy and you have all this equipment and stuff. And essentially the game is you have a hub and you have this big world. You're only opened up to parts of it at the beginning, so you get this one area to explore, and it has a certain amount of creatures in it that are constantly roaming, normal creatures that you can kill. There's also the monsters that are in that area that roam the world too. You track them, you pick up everything off the ground, and so like you're constantly gathering stuff up. Like you need to get herbs to make potions. You need herbs and honey, you mix them together and you get a max potion, and like so on and so forth. And the more stuff you gather, you get webs, spider webs. They create certain kind of traps and stuff like that. So like you're constantly gathering things up and you're constantly making traps and bombs and ammo and stuff like that. There is like 20 some weapons. I don't know the exact number, but it's an insane amount of weapons. And that's where the game really um, changes depending on what kind of weapon you use. I'm doing the very plain Jane dual blades, so it's just two big blades, and I'm fast as shit, and I'm cutting and cutting and cutting. And you want it to be as fast as possible. And just an example, I have my dual blades. The more monsters you kill, and the different types of monsters you kill, the different kind of blades I can make. So let's say I kill the first monster I come against, and let's say he's called the Bone Monster. Suddenly I can make bone blades. There's a tree with like 6 different things coming out where I can upgrade. I have to constantly kill that animal, that monster, and take it and make better bone blades. And towards the end of it, you might need to get other parts and stuff like that. But let's say I kill the second monster, and he is a water-based monster. Well, I can now make blades based off of that monster. So it's a completely different weapon, changes the way it is a little bit, the stats and everything else, and so on and so forth for the however many monsters there are in the game. It's just like that for all of the weapons, and they're vastly different. I have the dual blades. There's a weapon in the game that changes from a giant axe to a sword. There's a weapon in the game that is a help me out here with the where you play music, and like you're going on an adventure and there's a guy who plays music.
The lute?
The bard.
Is that what you're looking
The bard.
for? Yeah,
The bard. There we go. Okay, so there is a bard class in the game. So there's a weapon that is a flute type, not a flute, but it's like a big part of a monster, and it almost looks like a banjo. I have no idea what the hell it is. but you play notes, and the notes that you play is the type of buffs that you're giving to your entire team. So you want that guy on your team because, like I didn't mention this, you can play this solo, or you can play with up to 4 people taking down the monsters. The more people you have, the more difficult it is, the more bounty you get, so on and so forth, and the more fun it is, I think. But that surprised me. I was like, oh, and it's a big giant, like almost like a hammer type thing. So you're still beating the hell out of them, but you can play basically you're doing combos, and it's playing music for everyone to hear. So that's such a cool weapon. There are guns in the game.
Okay.
Made out of you have the bow and arrows, so you can be Alloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, which, by the way, there is a quest until February 8th where you can get her entire outfit. And your little, oh, by the way, when you're playing Monster Hunter, like a person that helps you, and it's a cat.
Okay.
So I don't that
Sure.
that immediately drew me in because I was like, that's adorable. And you get to when you kill the monsters, you take materials and you get armor for the cats, you get weapons for the cats.
Oh,
They
go
carry your
for
potions and everything else. So while you're playing, they're constantly throwing potions at you and hitting you in the face with the potions and setting up traps for the monster for you. Like, they're really smart AI, and they're there to help you.
Nice.
And so if you have a team, like if me and you were playing, we would have our two cats. And they could be vastly different because of the different kind of armor sets you put on them and the stats you give them and the weapons that you give them and so on and so forth. And so anyway, so if you're playing with four people, there's also a class like, I was going to say the gun class. There's like a sniper one where you take the bones and everything else, and it's these big weapons they put on their back that turn into it's a sniper slash like heavy machine gun. And so
Okay.
it's absolutely insane because here's this game where you're a monster hunter. It's swords and shields and axes and suddenly and bow and arrows, and suddenly this guy's got like a heavy machine gun and he's dropping in rocks from the sky because he shoots it up from his gun or whatever. Like, the variety in weapons is really what makes this game stand out. They're so vastly different, and they drastically change the way the game is played, because I can't imagine doing that, because the dual blades, I like being kind of close. I like being able to dodge really fast because these things are gigantic. There's a monster in there where you're fighting him and he has all these spikes all over him, and you're chopping and you're chopping and the spikes are coming off, and you chop the tail off, and you're 10 minutes into the battle with him. He's trying to run away. You get him down and you realize you're chopping all of these spikes off, and he falls into this bone pile in this mud, and he starts splashing around, and you kind of lose him for a moment, and then he comes back up and he has all of those bone things all over him, and you realize, oh, he's just covered in bones. That's what this monster's all about. And so like you keep chopping, you eventually kill him, and then you take his hide and go up to the guy who makes the armor, and you have all this material, and he's like, hey, I can make this headpiece for you or whatever. So it's crazy. It's absolutely fun. I'm not too far into it. I'm maybe 6 or 7 hours into it, but I've opened up a few different areas. I'm just really getting a hang of it, and it's really getting its hooks into me. I see now why people were completely obsessed with this on the 3DS and the PSP and the Wii U and the PlayStation 2, because it's weird, like, because I think it's Capcom that makes it.
Yeah.
So it's got that weird, just very, like, the cats are making food. They're like chefs. So every time before you go out for a hunt, the cats are making dishes. You go up to them and you make a dish that gives you buffs, and so they chop the fish and cook it all up, and so you and your cat buddy eat the food before you go out. So it's weird in these weird kind of ways, but then it's like the action. Every monster that I go against, they think very differently. You have to have, they're just vastly different. You have to have just different plane of attacks every time you go against them, and I'm absolutely loving it. I recommend anyone get this game who's like, I'm kind of bored with Destiny and these loot grindy games. This feels different. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I might have fun with it for a month or two, and then it gets real grindy, because I imagine this game will get real grindy. But it definitely scratches that itch of just like, I need to go back out there. Every hunt, they give you 50 minutes to hunt the animal. So you follow its tracks. Every track you find, it has a little bar, and after you get past a certain point, it opens up, and then you see the monster, and then you can kind of track him, or you can go online and just like, hey, where's this monster at? Kind of. But it's a lot of fun. It is a blast.
Nice.
Yeah, I also played the Dragon Ball Fighters with a Z at the end. Um, it's fun. Did you ever play the demo?
I never did. No, I never got around to it.
It's a beautiful game. It is. At first, I didn't like it because the fighting system is super simple. Like you can hit triangle, and if you land every punch, you're doing like a crazy combo. But you can just spam triangle like 4 times, and suddenly you're doing a Kamehameha, and you're bringing down the planet and everything else. So that kind of threw me off because I was like, well, everyone's just spamming buttons. And so the more I played it, the more I figured out the combos, the more I was getting my ass kicked at the beginning. And then I started doing a little bit better. Realize you have to like it just plays differently from Street Fighter and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so, but now I'm getting a little bit better. I've won a few matches, and it's just a beautiful game. This is how Dragon Ball Z should have always looked. And I can't stress that enough about how beautiful it is. Like when I'm playing it, I'm like, this looks straight out of the anime. The story mode was a little weak. It's basically just a tutorial, but the arcade system's pretty cool. It has you pick what kind of level you want to do, how many people you want to fight, that sort of deal. And then if you beat, and you actually unlock some characters if you beat it at a certain level. So I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a really fun fighting game. I've played a lot of fighting games this year. I think I have all of them. Tekken, uh, Injustice 2. I have all of them except Marvel vs. Capcom.
Nice.
That's the one that I did not get because of how they left out the X-Men. So,
well, they may go back and change that now.
They may go back and change that. I might get it once they do that, but I had to, put my foot down. I was like, no. That's why I get the games. You're gonna leave that out. I'm not gonna. I'd rather play anything else, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's. I don't know if I got WWE 2K18.
Did you? I saw you had found it like on sale.
Yeah. So speaking of fighting games, but yeah, it was on sale on the PSN store, and I had a 10% coupon, and I had a 10% code, or $10 code. So I got that along with Street Fighter, and I think I only paid like a few bucks.
Nice.
And that was it was like last week, I think, but yeah, that's been fun. I haven't touched the story mode. I want to do that.
It's a grind. It's forward up to a point. I'm at the Royal Rumble. Poetically enough, I've been there a month because I can't beat it.
Oh, okay.
Because I went the good guy road. Because I it just worked that way. So of course you get everything stacked against you, and it's like, oh, you have to win, you have to eliminate 10 guys, and you come in at number 1.
Oh wow.
And I don't have your guy starts at whatever like low level you can build him at. You can't use the thing that kind of sucks is you can't take your you can't take the one like you can create. Like you just normally create your superstar, and you can do whatever. When you go to career mode, that's where you have to unlock everything.
Okay.
It's already unlocked in like free play and that kind of stuff, but it is locked in career mode. So, and also like you only have so many points that you can use. Like they can't be up to like 100 or whatever you want to crank it all the way up to.
Okay.
So, and I just haven't, I've been working on the dude's charisma because I was just getting beat during the promo segments. I was getting killed. So I worked a lot on that, and now I'm at the Rumble, and I'm like, oh, my stamina just sucks.
Oh wow.
And I made it. I was at the end one time a few days ago. This was like 3 days before the actual Rumble, and I was
Oh wow.
finally at the end. And damn it, I went out, but it was hard to be mad because I got beat by Rusev, and I was like, I'm happy, but I'm so pissed off. I've been doing this for a month, and I cannot
Oh,
get past this.
jeez. And see, that's what I'm afraid of. Because if you're getting beat like that, I know I'm gonna get my ass kicked because I just don't understand how the game works. I know that there are, like, I have to wait to hit the R2 or whatever.
Yeah, the timing is tricky.
It just there's no tells. There's no. I'm like, how am I supposed to know when to press this? And I see it. I go to press it, and it's immediately gone. And
yeah.
I hate that system. That is the worst system.
It's you've got to be fast. I'm used to it by now because they've done, I mean, it's been like
Yeah.
this forever. But
Right.
they've closed the response time window on that a little bit more every year. And it sucks. It's why watching, when our group had like those tournaments, and
Mhm.
watching these guys just do reversal after reversal and then kicking out of the pins, especially
Mhm.
after you've been hit by a finisher, when you can't, it takes that first count away, and then it
Yeah.
starts at 2 and then 3, but the sliver of that pie is tiny. And seeing
Yeah.
them kick out after that, I'm like, this is just some next level. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah. And I've won a few matches just playing like regular stuff, but yeah, like the Royal Rumble, I'll try to do the Royal Rumble and I come in and then I'm thrown out and I'm like, well, you know,
yeah.
and I think it lets you control a few of them after that, but I'm not sure.
I don't think so anymore.
Well, maybe that's what I thought because I
They
remember
used
asking you.
they used to. That used to be a thing. I don't know if
That's
it's
how
a
it
thing
should
anymore.
be. Like if you're playing, especially one player, or if you're playing with other people, you should be able to control the next person that comes in just to have fun.
Yeah.
Or would you just sit there and watch it all the way
I
through?
don't know. Now it may be like in like the quick play or whatever. You may be able to do that. I've never done a rumble outside of my career, so I
Yeah.
don't genuinely know. But I don't want to see. I don't ever want to see this rumble again. Even though I know as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna take another swing at it. It's just it's killing me.
Yeah.
It's killing me because I get stuck. Oh, because the draw every time, like, I get thrown out. All right, so I've got to quit and retry because I don't want it. I don't know if it will move on,
Hmm.
or if it'll like just be like, oh, you lost and then retry. I don't want to
Right.
take that chance that like, oh, you missed out on this thing, so now you have to continue the story after missing out. I don't want to gamble with that. So if I can't restart it as I'm being thrown out, like I'll close it and reopen it. So like I've got to do this, and I don't want to take that chance. But if you just retry it, then you get the same entrance order that you had. But
Right.
if you close it and you have to go through, because it starts the game all over again, everything, you get a different entrance order. And I'll never forget the one that I had. I actually made it to number 10, even though like 5 out of those first 10 other than me were Brock, Braun, Big Show,
Wow.
and who else was in it? Rollins and Bray, I think, were those 5. And then like Primo and Epico were in there, and a couple others. But I was just I kept seeing him come out, and I was like, this is a sign. This is like, you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna win this. Just stop. Just go to bed.
Yeah. I gotta. But I've had fun. I want to get into it. I want to.
It really is fun if you dive into it. And
Yeah.
I have it the same reason that I have like Rocket League or something like that, which is like, I'll jump, let me just jump on and do like, I feel like doing an Elimination Chamber match. And then I'll do
Right.
that and be like, okay, that was a fun, like 10 minutes. That was all I had time for or something,
Oh,
like that's,
and they went all out for the Nakamura entrance.
oh yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it in the game, but
Yeah, like they go whole hog. It's great.
oh yeah, I was like, oh wow, like this looks so detailed. But yeah, and so I kind of just went through. I was like, oh, well, I want to try Jericho's, and you know, Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I wish the WWE would also do a straight up arcade like game.
Well, the last one they did like that was All Stars.
Yeah, I'd totally be down for that.
And it was great because it was purposely over the top.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want over the top. Those have always been my favorite WWE games. Like the ones from what was it, like THQ or Activision? The ones from like Nintendo 64. Those were fun.
Yeah.
And the ones prior to that, like Wrestlemania and stuff like that, where even when Midway did it, when it was like The
That
Undertaker.
yeah, that was when it was super arcade. That was WrestleMania, the arcade game.
Yeah, give me that. Give me some. That would be perfect on the Switch. They can't get the 2K correct on the Switch. Apparently, there was an update that fixed some things, but I need to look into that.
Yeah.
I doubt it. They probably just really brought the graphics down. But but that's what they should do. If you can't get it right on the Switch, then do like an arcade style game that takes. You don't need your whole staff to make something like that.
Yeah. No, I would absolutely be down for that.
Oh yeah, and I know there's a what is it? What's the other game? Fire Pro Wrestling
Fire Pro Wrestling, yeah.
that's on Steam. I would love if that was on the Switch. They're now officially like teamed up with New Japan Wrestling.
Oh yeah,
Did
oh
you
there
see
you
that?
go. No, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, yeah. They've officially like have some sort of deal with them or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Give me some Fire Pro Wrestling on the Switch. I watched it was the Xavier Woods was playing it with Kenny Omega, and it was like and it like the amount of detail that you can do in that game when you create a character is insane.
I'll bet. Yeah, because the Japanese games used to be kind of weird because
Yeah.
they had, and I think I'm remembering this right. Like they had some bootlegged characters where you were clearly playing
Oh.
as like, oh,
Oh.
this is,
Oh.
yeah.
They're too sweeting. You can when you create a character, you can have them too sweet. You can have Xavier Woods unicorn feet, boots. You have their exact moves. You have Kenny Omega looks exactly like Kenny Omega. Does the too sweet, does the whole thing.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks look like they all look straight up like the characters.
Oh, but I mean,
Um,
like back in the day, I think it was Fire Pro
uh,
back in the day, where I mean they would have had, it was basically they would have people like Bon Shickles instead of Shawn Michaels.
oh wow.
It was so bad. And I think that was that series. It may have been something different, but I remember there was one where it was I mean it was just
Bulk
it was so
Hogan.
bad. Basically, yeah, like oh my god, it was so bad.
Yeah, that's
But
fantastic.
no, I'm glad those are good. That's awesome.
Yeah, put that on the Switch. I would eat that up on the Switch, man. That would be some fun. Sitting in a dentist office. That's what I was thinking about. Like when I heard 2K was coming to Switch, I was like, that's perfect. I'll be sitting around the house, laying about, giving, stunners, and it would be great. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, if you play with more than just two people on the screen, it doesn't know what to do. And it showed like AJ's entrance, and it was just nothing. It would like, or he would come out and it was just slowed down to like 2 frames a second, and the music would stop playing before he get halfway down the ramp.
Oh man.
Yeah. But anyway, we should probably get into some of the news.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of things happen this week. There's only, like 4 or 5 pages.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, let me pull this up here. Man, you take the first one because that's some great news.
Yeah, this was big. Because we know they're doing a TV series for the Kingkiller Chronicle along with the movies, but they're not doing with that what they're doing, or at least what they had planned on doing. I don't know if they're still doing it with the Dark Tower, where it was going to be like the movies and then the TV and then movie and then TV, like they were intertwined. Because
Yeah,
the TV show is going to be like a prequel that's basically just like, hey, we want to explore the world and we found a narrative device that works. Awesome,
yeah.
that'll be great. And I imagine there'll be allusions and references and stuff, but it won't be important. It won't be necessary.
Right.
But for the and we they've kicked that around and it landed on Showtime. I want to say I think it landed on Showtime. I think we talked about it a
Right.
month or so ago maybe. And now the feature, at least the first one, has a director. And of everybody to pick, I don't know. I like the choice. I'm a little surprised by the choice, but at the same time, I'm not surprised by the choice. Um,
Right.
they went with Sam Raimi, and that to me is just very interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what to think. I
I
like Spider-Man 1 and 2. 3 was a disaster. I hope
Yeah.
it's more like the first two.
Well, I don't blame him for three. I try not to blame him for three.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a big time director.
And I mean,
Um,
it's we know Raimi can direct, and
right.
I don't know this. Maybe I'm just not as familiar with his whole filmography, but this kind of movie seems like something that's not something we've seen from him before, really. I mean,
Oh,
Spider-Man may be about as close as we could get in terms of a single character kind of focused story, but you know,
yeah.
there's not a lot of there's no sci-fi to it. There's no, I mean, this is a big fantasy deal.
Right. The only closest thing he's gotten is like Army of Darkness.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good. That's
Yeah.
a probably about the best comparison we could get.
He did a lot of Xena, it looks like. Hercules, Xena, Young Hercules. So that's great.
That's good. That puts it
Yeah.
more in that realm of kind
Yeah.
of monsters and magic. So I'm good with that.
But Evil Dead, Ash versus Evil Dead, that kind of stuff. It's not going to be like jokey like that. I can't see him.
No, but I mean,
Right.
there is a balance to the humor in it without question. But
Right.
it's just it's an interesting choice, and
Now
we know
he's not
he's got the chops for it. But
he's not going to write it. He's just going to direct it. Correct?
yeah, so far as I know,
Okay.
I'm not sure who's doing the screenplay, although that will be interesting to see. Oh no, it's the oh god no, it's a Lindsay. Shoot, I forgot her name. Who did the last Transformers movie? We know who's writing it. Um, uh,
Lindsay Sterling?
no,
Just kidding.
no, it's
My mom would be thrilled.
yeah, right. I'd be thrilled. Hell,
Right.
um,
Lindsay Beer, Lindsay Ellis,
that no, wait, go back. Lindsay Beer. I think that was right.
Lindsay Beer.
I think so.
Okay, Lindsay Beer, writer for Godzilla vs King Kong.
That's it.
Yeah, Killer King Chronicles and Chaos Walking.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. But
Yeah, I don't see Transformers on here.
yeah,
For
she worked on the last night, I think, or she's
I I see that she wrote for Mask. It's announced that she's writing for MASK, Mobile Armored Strike Command, and
that's
ROM.
yeah. Okay, so she's okay. So it's part of that whole
Right,
Hasbro.
right.
Okay, okay.
And ROM is technically Marvel, right? But I guess not in this case.
I don't know, man.
ROM was a toy deal between Hasbro and Marvel, so I wonder if the they're clearly not in the Marvel universe whenever
Yeah,
they make the Marvel
yeah.
movies, but
No, I don't want to see Transformers show up to fight Galactus. I
no, no, no,
really
no, no,
don't.
no. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, she was writing. Oh God, look at this. She's writing. It says writer's room for Godzilla vs Kong, so she's going to be a part of that
Right.
thing. Um, writer for the Short Circuit remake,
Okay. Yeah.
the Barbie movie,
Yeah. Which got
Dungeons and
which got
Dragons.
bumped 2 years.
Oh yeah. So clearly she's got. I guess people think that she has like the nostalgia, like
Well, and
she can write for that because those are the movies that scream to me when I see those.
yeah, and
Barbie, Godzilla, King Kong, Mask, Rom.
well, and being part of that room, I think you mentioned Dungeons and Dragons as part of
Yeah.
that whole thing too.
Yep.
It's the idea of being able to think like that. There's a weird logic to world building
Right.
for one thing, so you have to be able to think through that, and especially, I mean, this project is massive, and I don't know any of the details of the deal that that Pat Rothfuss has, But just from what I've heard from him in interviews and other podcasts, I have to believe his deal probably went down as, I will take significantly less money than somebody else might, but I
Right.
want more control.
Oh, okay.
I would think, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in the sense of, he talked about it once on a podcast that he used to have. He and Max, whose name completely escapes me, the guy who founded Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, okay.
They used to have a podcast, and it was great because Pat talked about one time. He said, "Pay me in Joss Whedon." That was his approach to it. Was the idea of, I would rather see it done right. Like he made it a point of like, I'm not really worried about the money. I'm worried about the quality, and
Right.
and if you can come to that from that perspective, and be in a place where you can walk away from the table if you need to, it gives you a hell of a lot more leverage, especially when your property is as big as the Kingkiller Chronicle is. So it's all of these. That's why we're getting news very spread out,
Mm-hmm.
because these choices are taking more time than just a board sitting around and going, that one.
Right.
These are much more. I can't even imagine what these meetings are like.
Oh yeah. I know. I agree. It's got to be insane right now for them. Um, this also has to be giving us some pressure to release that third book.
I don't know. It's
No.
it'll be done when it's done. Did Martin hurry up and write and write Winds of Winter?
That's true.
Like these things will be done when they're done.
Does it have a release date? I know it's going to be called The Doors of Stone.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't see a release
I
date here.
think I think they were optimistically aiming for this year. It's probably going to be next year.
Yeah.
Because I know they were aiming for this year a couple years ago, but
Right.
it's these things
Yeah.
take time, and it's not like
Hmm.
he's not it's not like he's got a lot of free time anyway. What with everything, I mean he's always doing something. He's always
Yeah.
working something or doing charity or appearances or like it's
Hmm.
crazy, but
Oh yeah.
good for him. And I
I like his Twitch channel. He's so calm and relaxing when he's playing games and stuff.
he is the Bob Ross of Twitch.
Yeah, he really is.
He is but like right down to the hair.
Hmm.
He's seriously the Bob Ross of Twitch. It's amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think he's playing Subnautica right now.
Oh, is that it? He finally moved on from Fallout, did he?
Yeah. I don't like Fallout. I do not like the setting of Fallout.
I mean, he was just kind of doing
Yeah.
whatever. He was just wandering and having fun with it. But
Right. Oh yeah.
it's about to, God, because he was playing that forever. I'm glad he moved on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's a cool dude. But yeah, man, that's fantastic news. Did you happen to see the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer?
I did.
What'd you think?
I particularly enjoyed the giant Hello Kitty Pez dispenser.
Yes, that was fantastic.
It was great. It's a good trailer. It looks fun, which is all that I
Yeah,
need.
yeah. I want things to get small and then get big and then get small and then get big, and this is what I expected. And the running against the knife, and I thought all that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd's gonna be. I don't want to see any more of it. I don't want to hear any more comedy. I don't want to. I don't want to see every joke in the trailer.
Yeah. No,
And
I'm good with just that. I mean, I know we're
yeah,
gonna wind up getting another one at some point, but
right.
you know, I may do what I did with The Last Jedi, where it was and what I've done with Black Panther, where it was like, I saw the first trailer, it was awesome, I'm good. I don't need TV spots, I don't need a second trailer.
Right.
I'm set.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, they. Yeah, I'm hoping that solo trailer drops for Black Panther or for the Super Bowl.
I'm thinking Super Bowl. It was supposed to be last week, man. What happened?
It was.
Didn't wasn't it you that sent me that article of like it was supposed to be last
That's
Wednesday?
right. It was. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
But instead
Yeah.
we got Ant-Man and the Wasp for Black Panther, which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm betting they save that for Super Bowl. No
Yeah.
doubt.
Because it's winding down. The Last Jedi in the theaters.
Yeah, I think we've only got a handful left in ours.
Yeah.
It's definitely and most of the ones that I've cleaned, I go in and there's either like a couple people or nobody. We've had a lot of like
Eh,
empty screenings. Like it's
yeah.
time.
Hey, now's the time if you want to go see Star Wars by yourself. Probably you and a few other people in the theater.
Go now. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
go now. And it doesn't
Oh
even
yeah.
have to be a matinee. Like, I mean,
Mm.
go, pick a time. Because everybody's going to see something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Evidently they went over the weekend to see The Maze Runner. Nobody showed up for the premiere.
Oh, really?
Nobody came for those Thursday night showings at
Oh,
all.
wow.
We had 19 people for like the 7 o'clock or whatever it was.
Are those kind of movies you think they're on their way out? Like the...
I think they're just waiting on the next one that's good. Like
Oh, is that it?
I enjoyed The Maze Runner, but it wasn't like it didn't grab you. Like The Hunger Games was at least interesting. I
Right.
think it kind of suffered from what I'm calling Transformers syndrome, which is just people kept showing up for them towards the end, kind of out of force of, well, we saw the last one, we might as well go see this one. Cause
Wasn't it on Netflix too or something?
do what?
Or no, the next one's going to be on Netflix.
What are they? What they? Oh,
Maze
the
Runner? Did
no, that's the Divergent series.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the one that just kind of fell apart.
See, I'm totally lost with all of these.
Yeah, that's another problem is like they all tried to be the next Hunger Games and most of them didn't work. I mean, you had Mortal Instruments which didn't work, but then they retooled that into a TV show and it's gone really well. You had Beautiful Creatures which tanked largely because they changed everything. I'm very cross about that because I actually that was a book that I really enjoyed. We saw the catastrophe that were the two Percy Jackson movies, which I never want to speak of again because they were just and that's a waste. That's a giant waste because there are as of May, this coming May, there will be 13 books in that series, and it tells a damn good story. And I am bummed that like all we got were two really crap movies.
Yeah.
That should be a TV show. But and then we got the Divergent series, which the first one did okay, and the second one did okay, and then like it just kind of disappeared. And then they talked about we're gonna reboot, we're gonna do the next one as a TV show and move forward with it. And everybody involved with the movies went, and when were you gonna tell us?
Right.
That one has been a mess. But
Yeah.
no, the third Maze Runner movie is the last one. That's the end of the series.
Gotcha.
And of course but what's interesting is the next big one they're banking on is Mortal Engines. And have you seen the trailer for that? Looks just
Yeah.
that looks so bizarre. But you watch it and you're like, what? Like,
Yeah, I don't even want to see anything after that because I'm like, okay, I understand. There's a world where like cities are eating each other. I don't want to know anything else.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm like, it's so weird. I really want to read the book because it's a quartet. And,
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I found them on Amazon. I didn't get them yet, but
Oh, okay.
the one to keep an eye on, and we still talk about it at work every once in a while. Nobody's really sure how A Wrinkle in Time is gonna do.
Yeah.
Like it's just because it's up in the air. Like they're putting the ad money behind it for sure, but just how many people are going to show up? I hope it does fantastic. I really do.
I do too, but I'm so off the like I don't know how kids movies are going to do or younger adult movies are going to do.
Yeah,
Does that make sense? Even the ones that are like Hunger Games, which is not teenagers, they're a little bit older.
Yeah.
That market I don't understand. So I can never my finger's not on the pulse for that, so I can't tell if people are excited for it or not. I only know if I see a bunch of commercials.
Yeah, and I think that a Wrinkle in Time is that weird, like 10-year-old audience.
Right.
Like that's a weird, like kids movies are kids.
Right.
That one you can easily.
Oh, those are
pinpoint.
easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Even teen movies are teen movies. You can tell like, oh, this is geared towards, like 8th grade and up, kind of. And then you get some of the younger adults the younger kids into that.
Right.
But that's what's weird. A Wrinkle in Time is aiming for that, like, 10-year-old centered demographic, it seems like.
Right.
Like,
Are they going to tell their parents enough to go see it?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
or, is it going to come, are they going to hear about it enough, or somebody,
Right.
because it's not the same anymore, not everybody's gathered around the TV seeing the same commercials with kids going, ooh, that movie looks awesome. They
Right.
have to be a little more
They're-
vocal and say, like,
They're all going, what happened to Logan Paul?
yeah. He gives
That's
Logan.
what 10-year-olds are doing these days, though.
Yeah,
So
it's sad.
I don't know.
So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I am hopeful that it works. I am worried it becomes the next Tomorrowland.
Oh yeah.
That's what worries me. I love Tomorrowland. I don't care what anybody wants to say about it. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. But it was another one of those weird, like, kind of who is this for kind of movie.
Right.
And I totally understand that.
Mhm.
This is going to be interesting. I'm really curious to see how this works out, especially because this movie wasn't cheap.
Right.
This movie cost a lot of money. You don't even have to look it up to know it cost a lot of money.
Right. Yeah. It looks expensive. It looks really expensive. When I took my mom to go see Star Wars, she was like, "That looks awesome." She loves those just like just out there kind of movies that some adventure. Doesn't matter if suddenly they're running on top of a rainforest or they're, you know what I mean, like just whatever it is. Those kind of adventure type of movies, doesn't
Nice.
matter the age. She's totally about those kind of movies.
Well, good.
Oh yeah. Like I forgot what scene it was in that movie where like they were like running across like the forest or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then like plants were coming up all around them, and she was like, "Oh, this looks awesome." So she'll be down to see something like that. I think she wants grandkids. She wants more grandkids. She already has a bunch of them, just so she could take them to the movie. But yeah, so I don't know. So yeah, man, I'm curious. I really am. How it's gonna do. Captain Marvel. Did you see the first photo?
Yeah, it's not the color scheme we're used to.
Oh no. Yeah, I assumed it wasn't gonna be that.
I love it. I think it's great. I saw people losing their minds, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
You guys don't know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it will turn into that eventually. But
Oh, yeah.
This is a prequel, so this is gonna be her like with the Kree War and all of that other stuff going on. Like this
Yeah.
is gonna be way before. I imagine when she shows up in Avengers, because I'm sure she is. In the first or second one, she'll have the new colors where she changes it from from the Kree to the new stuff. So, yeah, I saw people like feverishly like, well, what if it's just a green screen? It's like, relax, like
just chill. It's all right.
The armor, right. The armor looks great because you can see where, as reading the comics or just being around the Marvel universe. You're gonna know, okay, so that's like the Kree armor. She's with the Kree, she's doing whatever, and then she changes it. It's a cool little twist, so I like that.
Yeah, I think we'll either see that at the end of the movie as like
right.
This is ended, but I still want to do this cool stuff, but I can't wear this suit for insert plot reason here. Well, we've got some design ideas and show like some Iron Spider like schematics on the wall of like, here's what we were thinking. And
Yep.
I'm good. And I think it'll be Avengers 4 that she shows up in, and that's when we're gonna see it.
Did you see that Feige, Jesus, Feige said
did he go west?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a good movie. The
Lazy Eye.
Oh, that's my favorite part. He said when someone asked him, like, hey, so obviously you guys have been thinking of things about what's happening with the X-Men, and he's like, honestly, we haven't. He's like, all of that stuff is way above my pay grade. He said we're focused on everything right now. And until that deal is done, they can't really focus on putting X-Men or where the X-Men and the Fantastic Four fit in the universe.
I think that's the right way to go about this.
Exactly. So you got, to me it was a gut check. I always kind of assumed it's not going to be in Avengers 4, or uh, it's Avengers 3 that's coming out, and then Avengers 4. I always assumed it's not. I love to think, well, wouldn't it be cool if they did, but it was definitely a gut check, like, oh, okay, so definitely not. It's not going to be written in any of these movies. He said, so hypothetically, he said, we announced everything through 2019.
Right.
So none of those would be adjusted.
Right. And that's fair, because this deal probably won't be official and final and everything signed and whatnot until probably this time next year, really.
Exactly. So, he was saying, hypothetically, something with the X-Men and Avengers would be more 2021.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I imagine they'll find cameo spots here and there. I have no question about that. But the idea of, like, okay, now where do these guys fit into the plan that we've created is on down the road. Yeah, that totally makes sense to me.
It'll be universe building stuff. It will be mentions and areas, or mutants, or they'll say the word mutants. That's going to be said in probably one of the films. Now that we know that they're looking to buy them out and everything else, I'm sure they have more leeway on setting up that kind of stuff and giving hints and stuff like that. But you're absolutely right. It's not going to.
I would not be surprised if the first mention of anything actually comes in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like a throwaway tease or whatever.
Yeah, God, this is like that kid in red pajamas that climbs up walls.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Isn't there some bug kid in Queens that does this? Like, just as a quick line and maybe even an actual aside.
Well, I mean, they technically are legally allowed to do that. Remember when Spider-Man mentioned Superman and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like, they can do that. They can do little things like that. So you are absolutely right. I could totally see them totally name checking and stuff like that. But yeah, and I thought that's one line that really stood out for me from Spider-Man when she mentioned Superman. You're not Superman, because that was just such a cool, tip of the hat to the other side.
Right. It's just the thing of, like, look, we can't just act like these things don't exist.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's great. I love that kind of stuff. Speaking of stuff I loved, did you see the trailer for I Kill Giants?
I did, and, damn you for making me read this thing.
Oh, it's so good.
It is. It's fantastic, and it just destroyed me by the time I got to the end of it. But that's what makes it so good. I didn't know they were doing a movie of it. I had no idea. And as soon as I saw, like, trailer for I Kill Giants, I was like, wait a minute, is that the same? It can't be the same thing.
Yeah.
And seeing, they've gone more fantasy with it and everything, of course, because it's a movie. But I dug it, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to see it. They're doing a Clue movie.
We say they. It's really like Ryan Reynolds was bored, so he said, hey, you know what else I can do?
Right. Did you see, by the way, sidetrack, did you see the set photos from the Detective Pikachu?
No, we have set photos now.
Oh my god, it shows like a police station, and it pisses me off because I'm like, this could totally be a Pokemon movie. And it's like, I forgot what the city was. And it looks like a legit police stone statue, like the city of whatever. And then there's like there's two humans and then like a Pokemon in the middle. And like the whole world's set up as like a real world, but they have like these white standouts that are Pokemon that I guess would be walking around.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, it just kills me every time I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got this Clue movie with Ryan Reynolds, and his writers, Rhett Reese?
Yeah, and Paul Wernick, the Deadpool guys. So I don't know, it's good. It has to be weird. You can't do a serious Clue movie. There's no way. Like, it has to be goofy. You have to do it kind of, because the one they did back in, the 80s, early 90s, whenever that was?
Right.
Like, you have to be silly, because the whole premise is silly.
I'm surprised that, like, Danny McBride and them didn't do a Clue movie already.
They're busy doing a fake Crocodile Dundee sequel.
Oh my god, I want that to be real.
As you watch the trailer, you really wish it was, because it just seems so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. And in the Super Bowl, it's going to be like, come to Australia, and
Yeah, that's basically it.
is
Yeah.
this, but what are the odds that this turns into getting so much interest that someone does make a movie out of it?
You know, if we lived in a world where the leaked Deadpool test footage didn't lead to, the box office Goliath that it
Yeah,
became, I would have said not a chance. No way. Now, though,
yeah,
hell, I don't know. It
yeah.
it if they figure out a way to do it
The but
cheap and with the
all
right
those
people, yeah,
the problem is those are huge actors,
yeah,
and get him to do a commercial is one thing. To get him to do a movie, that is millions of dollars. It's millions upon millions of dollars. That, yeah, I don't know. I don't maybe like an online thing. I don't know. I don't know how they would do that.
coming
Uh,
coming soon, a Funny or Die original series.
yeah, there you go. Team up with Netflix. Do like hour and a half long movie. It would be cool.
Look, they got McG to do a horror movie about, you know, demonic babysitters.
Yeah,
they could probably swing that.
yeah. Absolutely. Spielberg is looking to do Indiana Jones 5 and West Side Story as his next two projects.
Yeah, it looks more like West Side Story is going to be the first one up because they've got casting going on and everything.
Um, we talked about the Purge, the first Purge,
Yeah,
and the July 4th poster.
I don't care. I love that poster, and I know, like, there's so many people who are going to look at that and go, that's really funny," and not get the irony of it.
Right,
But
exactly.
my favorite people are going to be the ones who, and I've never looked at a comment section because I don't need to read it to know, like, it's
Right,
going to be hilarious. It's like, oh, is Hollywood doing this again? Oh man,
right,
if you can't take a joke, then just stop enjoying art.
right. Need a safe space. Um, we got Cloverfield trailer for the Cloverfield 3 may come out during the Super Bowl.
And then we'll find out what the hell it's actually called.
Right. Oh yeah, Overlord will be Cloverfield 4 and may also be released this year. That would be crazy.
Well, if Netflix picks them up, because Overlord was supposed to start filming back in like May.
Oh
And
really?
so it's another one that's like, I think it's done. And I remember when we talked about this, because I think we talked about it for our, like, looking ahead to this year episode.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's soldiers who land at Normandy like a day early or something, and they find a zombie overrun town.
Right.
And I remember thinking, like, well, that's just silly, but okay. And it's like, oh, but that's gonna be Cloverfield 4. And I'm like,
Oh.
that's bizarre, but all right, sure, what the hell?
Oh wow. Yeah. I didn't know Overlord was Cloverfield 4.
Apparently, yeah, that's what I've been
That's
seeing.
crazy. Jesus. Just world building with this Cloverfield.
Well, he's got to catch up because the idea was that they wanted a new one every year way back when,
Oh wow.
and that didn't happen. So,
Yeah. Star Wars got in the way.
yeah, a little
Star
bit.
Trek, Star Wars, all of that. Yeah.
He went to space and then he stayed in space because Cloverfield 3's in space, and
It's true.
now he's got to come back.
Tom Hanks is going to star as Mr. Rogers in the biopic. You are
I
my friend.
when I saw like Mr. Rogers biopic, my first thought was Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Like I never considered anybody else, and then they were like, and they cast Tom Hanks. And I was like, well, duh.
Yeah.
Of course they did. But
That's going to be good.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be the nice Christmas family movie for whenever it comes out. Like I'm looking forward to that because that's just gonna be a nice, like, innocent. Here's the life of Mr. Rogers. It's gonna be a wholesome movie. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, writer Ed Salmon bails on Invisible Man.
Yeah, just put the Dark Universe out of its misery already. So
Yeah.
he walked away and like in an interview was saying, yeah, they're changing what they're doing, and he said they're reconfiguring the idea, and I'm like, just let it die.
Yeah.
Just stop. This thing is not gonna work. Just go ahead and just don't connect them intentionally. Make a
Right.
Frankenstein movie. Make an Invisible Man movie. You can do these things without trying to cram them all together.
They put the cart before the horse.
Oh boy, they put the goods before the cart before the horse. Because
Yeah.
we saw how well the Mummy did and was
Right.
received and
Well, see,
worked.
that's the thing. Like, no one Disney didn't come in and announce a connected universe. They created Iron Man, and it did great. And at the very end, they had that teaser just in case it did as good as they thought it
Well,
would. And
it was a gag. Like that wasn't even actually supposed to go anywhere.
right, well, that's what I mean. Like, it was like, if this movie does good, we have this.
Yeah,
If it doesn't, oh well. If it doesn't go anywhere, then that's it. It doesn't go anywhere.
yeah. But it became the most successful independent film
Right.
ever.
These guys are like, let's have a press conference and let's do all of this and let's announce this dark universe. And people go see The Mummy and they're like, well, that was a movie that I saw.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right. I still haven't seen that.
I
But I hear
don't
I hear the Switch game's good.
really.
Oh yeah.
Actually that doesn't surprise me
Dude,
really.
it was on some people's top 10 list. That's how good it was.
Holy
People were
crap.
saying people were like shocked. Like, like this game based off of a shitty movie is actually really good. A lot of people compared it to like Wolverine Origins, the game.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say like this is the
Yeah.
last time that's happened since Origins.
Yeah, any review I saw, they were like, this kind of reminded me of it, where like you play this awesome game and you're like, oh, it's tied to that franchise, and it doesn't technically have Tom Cruise in it. It's like some character that looks like him apparently.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
old school.
but it's an old school side scroller that's kind of like a Castlevania where you have to unlock certain areas and stuff like that, and it's apparently really fun.
Nice. I mean,
So,
that would be the way to do it.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, let's see here.
This was awesome news. I love this news.
Oh yeah,
It
you go ahead and take it.
was totally out of left field.
Yeah.
Seeing Michael Jai White tweet like this little teaser, and I was like, well, okay, this is neat. What the hell is this? And apparently they're doing another Black Dynamite.
Oh shit, no
I'm
way.
like, that's amazing. That's phenomenal. Because we had the movie, and then we had like the little animated series. But White talked about a while back that like he and whoever I forget, I think it was the writer that he was talking about, was like when they sat down and planned this out, like they had originally planned Black Dynamite to be a trilogy.
Oh
Like
wow.
that was just the first film in a trilogy. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping we're getting more because it was fun. It was just a
Oh yeah.
fun movie. I love that movie.
It was definitely. That's awesome. Um, let's see here. Go ahead to the next one because I'm going to butcher the name.
Yeah, Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, who directed 28 Weeks Later,
Yeah.
is in talks to direct the live-action Sword in the Stone.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
I liked the Sword in the Stone cartoon.
Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely
Yeah.
an of that time. Like that's what's weird. Like you can see the era of Disney animation even within an era, and I don't mean the difference between like Sword in the Stone and The Lion King. I mean the difference between like Snow White and
Oh yeah.
Dumbo and like the grouping of like because there was like the Sword in the Stone and the Aristocats
Right.
and there were a couple others that all had that same kind of vibe to them.
Yep. Absolutely.
But
Now the Sword in the Stone. Why my mind's going blank? What's the one where they play soccer?
that's a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
No, is that it?
Hell, I don't know. Maybe.
No, brooms and oh man.
Oh, that's
hold on.
Fantasia, bro.
No, that's not Fantasia.
It's Sorcerer's
Bed
of
knobs,
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. That's it. That's it. Oh man,
Yeah,
I haven't watched that in forever. No wonder I didn't remember that.
that is a throwback. Let's see here. We got some Dr. Seuss news, huh?
Yeah, the Warner Animation Group has linked a deal with Dr. Seuss Enterprises, which just typing that in the notes made me laugh. Just hearing Dr. Seuss Enterprises, I was like, that's just fantastic. Um, and they're gonna do a new bunch of animated films based around the Seuss books, starting with The Cat in the Hat.
Well, aren't they doing a Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
Yeah. Here's the thing: the Warner Animation movies, I don't think are gonna be big screen. I think they're
Okay.
going to be direct to DVD, digital, all that stuff. I doubt. I highly doubt they're going to be like theatrical release.
Now, is this going to be Michael Myers
No,
live
God, no.
action?
No. They're animated. They're going to
Oh,
be
that's right,
animated.
animated.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So at least there's that. I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay with this. I don't need
Yeah.
any more nightmares like that.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I don't know. We were doing pretty good. I enjoyed the Lorax. I liked it.
Yeah.
But
Um.
I don't know. Everything old is new again, I guess. We'll get to that in TV.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Seriously. Um. What is it? David Zindel accuses film of being plagiarized version of his father. Oh, okay. So who is this? Who's
Oh,
David Zindel?
David Zindel is the son of Paul Zindel, who was a
Oh.
playwright, I want to say, who wrote a play called Let Me Hear You Whisper. And David is claiming on behalf of his father's estate. I think Paul has passed. If not, sorry, Paul. I just don't know.
Yeah.
But is claiming that Shape of Water is just a plagiarized version of this play. Um,
Hmm.
here's the thing. Let Me Hear You Whisper is about a janitor who falls in love with a dolphin who's been captured and is held in captivity and sneaks them out through a laundry basket. That's you know that's the broad stroke similarity they're drawing here.
Wow.
Here are my problems with this. Firstly, the idea of, oh, somebody working at a facility develops compassion slash a relationship with someone slash thing held captive at that installation. That describes 1,000 movies. You can't
Yeah.
claim that as plagiarism. But it's in water. So was Free Willy. What's your point?
So was Star Trek.
Uh,
Exactly. Free Willy too.
yeah. Um, but they sneak them out through a laundry basket. Well, yeah, where the hell else are you gonna put it?
Right.
Like that just that I'm sorry, I have to say this, that doesn't hold water. Um, so next, the other complaint was great. It was like there's a scene where the protagonist dances with a mop, like as a point, and I was like, okay, well let's
Wow.
let's go back a little. I'm pretty sure Cinderella danced with a broom. So wait, I think you guys just ripped it off and changed the cleaning implement. Like this is insane. Hell, we were just talking about it. Like in Fantasia, they have mops that dance by themselves. So all the like this, uh, it's just they're not the same. They're not the same. Was there an influence? I'm gonna say probably, leaning maybe a little further back to possibly, but this was not plagiarism. And there's
Right.
there's one every year. Every Academy Award, somebody gets called for like, I wrote this thing, blah 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 blah. And when you
Right.
look at it, it just falls apart. There were clear were there were influ. I would be surprised if there weren't influences, but that's not
Right.
the same thing as like that's not plagiarism. This is not.
Nothing's original.
Yeah, but and this, like what are
Everything takes something.
exactly, and like what
Yeah.
are the odds that, oh my God, Guillermo del Toro wrote a movie about somebody falling in love with a sentient creature placed in a water tank, and like
Right.
that's kind of where the similarity ends. What are the odds of that? Pretty high, actually.
Right.
Not shockingly low. Um,
Didn't Tom Hanks do that at some point?
oh,
Mermaid or something?
oh, Splash.
Splash. That's
Oh
it.
my God, Splash. That's
Right.
that's the idea behind the Barbie movie. Is they're
Right.
doing it in that vein of like she's not pretty enough to be in Barbie Land anymore or something. They're doing like a Splash
Oh, so it's
kind
like
of
Mannequin.
it kind of, but what was the Disney movie where like they left animated land and wound up in the real world? Um
Uh,
oh This could drive me crazy.
Animated Land.
Enchanted? Was that it? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Where like the fairy tale creatures became live action but stayed
I think so.
Yeah, like they came into the real world. I think that was Enchanted.
Right.
But that same kind of thing of like, oh, this is God damn.
It's basically Mannequin.
Yeah.
Mannequin 2. Now that is a masterpiece of how not to make a movie.
Oh man.
Mannequin 2 is something you could show a child in the 90s, and it's fun. It's great time. There's a guy with a mole. It's crazy.
True.
Watching it as an adult is it's crazy.
Get hammered first.
Get hammered. I have no idea what that movie is. Just bizarre. There's a guy in the movie. I'm looking at a still right now where his glasses are the most 90s glasses you've ever seen. He looks like what's his name from NXT? Velveteen Dream?
Velveteen Dream,
Velveteen Dream. It is straight up Velveteen Dream. Oh my god, I'm gonna send it to you in a message so you can see it. But that is something else. But anyway, sorry, didn't mean to sidetrail this.
Yeah, oh my god, dude, he even looks like Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, like just straight up with the glasses, the hair, the everything.
That's crazy.
That's a movie to see. Yeah,
it's pretty big man. Oh my god, we demand that's it. We found the title for this week. We demand a Mannequin remake.
Right, there we go. Yes.
Oh
man. What was it? What was the Martin Lawrence movie where he goes to medieval times?
Oh damn. Because I can see the art clear as day.
Is it Black Knight?
Yes,
I 2001. Think. Oh, they should remake Black Knight.
Black Knight. Oh my god.
That fell into the same place as those Mannequin movies, where they don't make films like this anymore.
No, and there's kind of a good reason for that. Well,
I know.
To be fair, they were fun. I will happily give them that. They were fun. Oh
yeah, they were fun. Those are the movies that, like, my grandma wouldn't mind taking me to. Where my parents would probably be like, "Nah, we got better things to do." But she was like, yeah, "Let's go see that. That looks fun."
Yeah.
Oh man, I want more movies like that. but yeah, those are the kind of movies you can just put on Netflix, and this day and age, and not lose too much money, and it would become something that people just kind of tell each other about.
That's true. That's very true. Instead of spending an ungodly amount of money on Adam Sandler.
Right, exactly. We
demand a Mannequin remake.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And Black Knight too.
And Black Knight too. So they've started to film Halloween and Shazam, so that's happened.
Yeah.
So
cool.
So Shazam feels more real to me now that they're actually on a set filming. So that's cool. Detective Pikachu, how do you pronounce his last name?
Ken Watanabe.
Joins Detective Yoshida.
Yeah, I hope he's gonna stare at Detective Pikachu and like an Arcanine, and he's just gonna stand there and he's gonna go, "Let them fight."
Oh my god, I don't want this to do good.
No, I don't either. I want it to be a disaster, and I think it will be. I genuinely think. I think the first trailer is going to come out. Kids will love it. I guarantee you, kids will have a field day with it.
Oh my god, this is Black Knight.
Oh man,
I've totally talked myself into a corner here.
See, yeah, I want to see you pages. I want to see you try to get out of it.
No, this is totally a Black Knight movie.
It's
Black Knight if they made like a really popular franchise and made it Black Knight, though.
That's a good point.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because this could be blockbuster level, but they're like, no, let's do Black Knight with Pikachu. That's essentially what they've done.
They've made Black Knight with Pikachu. I'm so that there's so many good titles in this episode now.
Oh man,
that one might draw some heat, but I'll take the attention.
It's Black Knight with Pikachu.
They've made Black Knight with Pikachu.
And talk myself into maybe seeing the movie somehow. Oh man. Oh gosh. Anyway, before I really back myself into a corner, Barbie was pushed back from my birthday to May 8th. I'm not saying it anymore. Oh, 2018 to 2020. That's
Yeah,
a big pushback.
they bumped it almost 2 years.
Jeez, what? What? That doesn't make any sense.
The
Who's
problem,
making Barbie?
I'll tell you what happened. They left the sets out in the sun too long, and the plastic all melted.
Oh, okay.
So, so they've
It's a
got to
great
rebuild
catch.
them all over again. They got to start all over again.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. They no. The real problem was the guy they had to play Ken dropped out, and they're just scrambling to find somebody with absolutely no genitalia. It's tough. Sorry, I can keep making just awful
They can
jokes.
find they can
People,
find some people in Washington for that, I'm sure. Um.
I,
Oh.
so TV news.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of no testicles, real fast. I started watching some of the old Cena Rock promos, and they were so good. When he calls him out about riding on his arm.
Yeah, but I mean, it really is a thing of like everything Cena said about The Rock, you can say about Cena now, and
No, that's true.
I just
Well,
here's the
you
thing.
can't say he writes down what's on his arm though. That's the one thing he got him with.
That was one where everybody just kind of went, oh.
That was the one time The Rock legitimately like shrunk a little bit in the ring. I've never seen anyone get him until that point.
No, because even with Austin, like he and Austin would just hammer on each other verbally, and for every hit, like it was like they just kept going. It was like watching two heavyweights just landing bombs and just drilling each other, but nobody flinched. Like it just kept moving forward. But you're right, like The Rock actually was. It really did look like that hurt.
He got mad. He got like right in his face. You could tell they were about to swing, but always the professional. And then I watched the one with him and Roman, and he buries Roman. Like, it was a promo, kid. You got to learn it sometime.
It's been 5 years. You got to learn how to do it. Oh my!
Low key, one of the good promos. One of the best promos from him.
Yeah, Cena just he destroyed Roman. But I mean, that was. Here's the thing. When Cena was trying to get big, when he was coming up, you still had these guys. You still had Rock. You had Angle. You had these guys where you had to compete. You had to show up.
Right.
And Roman didn't have that, and not necessarily his fault. Like just the kind of era he came into, not a lot of big stars. Like you weren't fighting and scratching and clawing for that TV time. And Suffer and Succotash, he just doesn't know how to do a promo.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, he doesn't. And I listened to an interview, and he was talking about it. He's like, these guys just don't do it. They don't have that. And that's why he was like, a little bit what I was saying was just the honest truth. Like, I don't feel that this is his yard at all yet because he can't do the simple things. And my job's not done yet until he can,
I think that's just because they're backing a wrong horse. Look at what Sammy and Kevin Owens have done.
Kevin Owens, even Braun Strowman, of all people.
I will take Braun any day. Like, he's got so much more charisma, and he's got
a new catchphrase every month.
He knows how to sell. Like, he doesn't have to come out and do a whole long speech about something. He comes out, he says a handful of things that sometimes they don't work, but he just barrels through it anyway because he's Braun Strowman, and do you really want to argue with him? And he owns that. And it's tremendous. And I'm
not finished with you.
I'm telling you what, man.
Come get these hands.
Catch these hands. Like, it just... if he's got something, man, he's just going to run with it. And oh, God.
Yeah, we were talking earlier on the mixed match challenge. I love it how he was like Alexa was gonna go tag him, and she was like, "No, I got this." He's like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna handle it." And he's like, "I trust you, little one." It's just little things like that where like this giant monster of a man just says those little, and how protective he is of her when like Sammy's yelling at her. He goes, "Don't you talk to her like that!" And Sammy freaks out. It's so adorable, and it's awesome, and to see that kind of fun that he's having with it, and like she jumps up on his back spoiler alert for the mixed match challenge. She jumps up on his shoulders, stands on his shoulders, and does the twisted bliss off of it. And like throughout the match, he's having her scream and stuff, and she's yelling like he's a coach. It's so good. They play off each other so well.
It's when they give these guys something and say do something with this.
Yeah.
Braun is a great example, but right now in WWE, there are two examples of getting something to work. I'll give you three.
Real fast, they should be doing this with Nia and her because they're not doing it like they should.
Yeah, no, they've squandered Nia so bad.
All of their social media and everything, she's doing the same thing she's doing with Brock, but they don't do it on television. She's not jumping on her shoulders and stuff like that, like how it is in social media and everything else.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, but like there's, one of the biggest examples of getting something to work is the New Day. That gimmick was terrible when it came out. Yeah. It was atrocious, and they let them work with it, and now they're flinging. I love the mixed match challenge last week because Big E was just throwing pancakes at Corey Graves' hair, right. And it was hysterical. Like, it shouldn't be. There's no reason that should work, but they make it work.
And when they land on the Kofi lands on the pancakes,
standing on the pancakes and just hopping around.
Now there was a few episodes of SmackDown that I didn't see, and I was like, where did this pancake stuff come from?
It was a little ways back, but yeah.
And I saw an episode where like Big E comes out and he just takes off the top of his singlet thing, and then he takes plates from where his ass is, and then puts it on. He gives it to whoever the Usos are sitting there with pancakes all over them, and then he takes all this stuff from the side,
pancakes and syrup, and he's just
he's serving it to them, and the Usos are just laughing, and they shouldn't be laughing.
No, but like
because they're the heels, but they're just hysterically laughing because of how. And then of course Big E's just doing his Big E face at him, staring at him and dancing. It's so great.
And that's why it works. They just go out and they do it. And another, Elias is another example. That gimmick was dead in NXT. It was nothing. It was stupid and everybody hated it. But then they brought him on Raw for a month and had him just wander around playing guitar. And it worked. And like walking through the crowd and stuff, just randomly showing up wherever. And then turning it into something that, he's working with Cena. That's big. Like that ain't nothing. But I think everybody's favorite example right now is Rusev Day.
Yep.
There is no way that he and Aiden English should work as a team, and there is no way that the idea that every day is Rusev Day should be a thing. None of that should work at all in any sane world. That should be the dumbest, stupidest, what in the hell is this, get away from me kind of thing.
Right.
But that whole Rumble match, man, every time we've gotten quiet for a little bit, nobody's out here now, what are we going to do? Rusev Day! Rusev Day!
Right.
Rusev Day!
And he'd get so pumped, his face. He'd jump in the ring.
There's a calendar, man! There is a Rusev Day calendar, and every day is Rusev Day. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely freaking brilliant.
It's so good. Yeah, these are the guys they should be pushing. And that's why it's so frustrating to see. Because you look at right now, this has been Braun's year.
Yeah.
This year has been, and I didn't watch when Daniel Bryan was as popular. I'm not saying Braun is anywhere near that popularity, but it's the same kind of year that I see where he's come out of nowhere. No one's expecting it. Everyone's behind him. It seems like he's getting a push, and we all know that Brock is just going to be fed to Roman at Mania.
Yeah.
And what does that mean for Braun? Where does it leave him? And what is he even doing for Mania when this year has been his year? Every big moment that I can think of, he's been involved with flipping stuff and what he did to Kane over just so many things. And they obviously just fed Kane to Brock for Royal Rumble, and he was like, "You didn't pin me."
Yeah.
So it's just, it sucks. I wish wish upon wishes that they would have a change of heart at the last moment and go, you know what, this guy deserves it, and puts him in the match, but they won't.
I'm telling you what, man, watch Elimination Chamber, because Braun is going to be in it, And
Yeah.
we're gonna, we have, who do we know is in it? We know Braun's in it,
Refresh
and
refresh my memory. Immolation. Everyone needs to be pinned, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone has to lose.
So
So
it's not the first one that pins. Gotcha. Okay.
right, no, it's actually elimination. Um, and I'm telling you, man, I don't know, because the rumor making the rounds is Braun Miz at Mania, and I don't think the Intercontinental title is good for him. I don't think it
No,
fits
I think the
Braun.
Miz should hold that.
Yeah, I think let Miz hang on to it, or have him and Roman keep feuding over it. I'm all
Yeah.
right with this. It gives Roman somebody on the mic to stand against, who
Right.
is in that upper tier. I don't know if Miz is quite
It's
Cena Rock level, but damn if he's not close.
but think about it, that's what it seems. If we didn't know anything moving forward, that's what it seems like. It
Agreed.
seems like Roman and Miz are heading to Mania to fight each other because of their programs. They're putting on really great matches.
They are.
Um, and I would love to see Roman and Miz at Mania, and Braun and Brock. Brock needs to be the guy that beats him, and maybe somewhere down the road Roman gets it again or whatever. But this year is Braun's. This should be like, they should literally tear down that arena for Mania. Like, everything should be broken down in their battle against each other, because you saw the straight up punches they were giving each other.
I loved watching people freak out of like, oh, Brock forgot you don't hit people. I'm like, it's called a receipt, man.
Oh
Braun
man, but he could have straight up killed him with
Braun
that
well,
punch to the temple.
Braun thunked him a little hard to the head, and Brock, with his gloves padded as they are, reminded him, "Hey, son, we have
Oh
a
yeah.
we have a way we do business here." And
Oh
I
yeah. No.
and then life went on, and that was it.
Right.
There was no
Right.
like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have to do this again." Blah blah. No, it was like, "Oh, my bad."
It would have been different if he did real damage.
It
Because
wasn't
then one's doing it on purpose, one's doing it on an accident.
right, and that's
But-
that's the thing. Brock knows enough about the business to know, and
Yeah.
I'm sure Braun does too. That's
Right.
why it didn't escalate. It was like, oh,
Right.
I I didn't
slowed
appreciate that, and it's like,
Right.
oh, my bad. Fair
That,
point.
it'd been interesting to be a fly on the wall when they went back.
I'm
And to
sure.
hear them talk, because I could honestly see Braun just wanting to soak up any knowledge from these guys.
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
tell when he
Yeah.
debuted. He was greener than grass when
Yep.
he debuted, and now look at him. And
Yeah.
it's not just the big spots. He can put on.
Right.
He can go bell to bell. With
Right.
no problem.
He's fast. He's fast as such a big guy.
He is what they want. Anytime they show like, oh, some big dude does a high spot, it always
Right.
kind of looks a little off. Not
Right.
with Braun. Braun
No.
actually has that in him.
Right.
Who was it? Who was it he went after? Was it Ellsworth, or was it somebody else who jobbed to him back when he was doing that thing? That like they got out of the ring and took off, and Braun chased them down.
Yeah.
That to me was a hell of a moment, because I was like, oh, this dude, run. You can't run fast enough. You've got to climb something or hurdle something. But he probably just he wouldn't. Braun is the kind of big dude who isn't gonna crash through a wall that you climbed over. He's gonna jump over the wall, and it's just gonna scare you to the point where you're just gonna look and go, kill me. I can't
Yeah.
win. Just get it over
yeah.
with.
And the thing is, and this, you can tell he took a piece of what Kurt Angle said during his speech about don't be afraid to have fun. And I think that's what he's doing with Alexa Bliss. That's what he's doing when he grabs a piece of cake. You know what I mean? Like, I think he knows, like, just to have fun with his character.
That was a great moment. Just staring at it, and he takes a piece, and you're like, oh, he's gonna. Because anybody else, it would have been he's gonna throw the cake down and like slam the guy onto it or something. And
Yeah.
Braun looks at it and just grabs a piece and stomps off eating the cake. And it was magical. It was absolutely magical, because it showed he's not one dimensional. He's not big guy hit things. He's big guy terrifies everything, because he's that he is a character. He's not a trope. And
Right.
that's what's crazy. And you're absolutely right. Like, if you looked at this without knowing any inside baseball or rumors or anything, you would think like this is gonna be Brock Braun.
Like, I could see him destroying the arena. Like, almost like, think of like, this sounds crazy, but like him, like, everyone's afraid of him, and Alexa comes out and calms him down. Like Black Widow.
Um,
like, I could see that, not at Mania, but like in a match. like, because every time he's destroying everything, and no one can calm him down, they throw security guards at him, he goes through all of them. You see Kurt Angle, why don't they have Alexa come up to him and calm him down? That would be so great.
Well, but here's the thing. Like, I think they would do that just to subvert it. Just to have her come out and tell him to chill and everything, and then she would just point at somebody, and he'd be off and running again.
Exactly.
Like, they would do it just to turn it on its head like that. Like, oh, I'm not cooling him down. I'm focusing him.
Right,
like
right,
that,
right.
to make it even worse. Instead of just wild, like, I'm gonna grab everybody and throw everything over, I'm gonna focus and just keep beating the hell out of this dude.
We always write better than them, huh?
Like, yeah, right. Like, listen to us. Like,
right, man. All right,
I'm waiting for the phone call. I've got two jobs. I'll take this one on. Come on, bring it on. I can do this.
Just, man, I would just start writing stuff and just send it in floods to them. Be like, here you go.
Here are my ideas. If you happen to use any of them, remember who sent them to you.
Right.
Oh, we got another one. Throw it on the pile over here.
Right. I wonder how many people do send them. Like,
that's what I'm saying, man.
Stuff.
I'm sure they have. I'm seriously sure they have like an entire shredder devoted just to that. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, let's get into some TV news. Metropolis, Gotham producers, Jeff Stevenson, Danny,
John Stevens.
Why did I say Jeff? I'm thinking of my brother for some reason. John Stevens and Danny Cannon making prequel Superman series.
Yeah, they're trying to do... They want to do the city that a superhero is most familiar with before that superhero actually gets there. Look how well that's worked out with Gotham in terms of, like, Batman... Bruce Wayne's going to be a little side character. He's not going to be a big deal. Yeah, how long did that last? 2 seasons?
Terrible.
I have no interest in Gotham ever since they were like... Because it started and it was going to be, like, GCPD Blue. And that was the rumor. And I was like, I'll take that. Hell yeah, I want to see that. But then they're like, no, it's just, the adventure. It's just Lil Batman.
Right.
No, I don't want that. But
it's everyone but real Bruce Wayne. You get a baby Bruce Wayne that can't do anything like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I hate these half-ass series. They have no problem going, we got Green Lantern, we're doing a Green Lantern series. We got Black Lightning, we're doing a Black Lightning series. We got The Flash, we're doing The Flash. But when it comes to Batman and Superman, it's like they're afraid to go anywhere near that character, but let's do everything else around it.
Right, and then do a watered-down, ridiculous version of that character.
It's such a tease. Do a Bruce Wayne series, do a Clark Kent series, do a Superman series. So we have a Supergirl already. What are they afraid of?
What I want more than anything, and I spent a long time thinking about this, give me Bruce Wayne and I know I heard the beginnings of this on a Fat Man on Batman episode way on back in the day. Give me a Bloodhaven Academy series.
Yeah, that'd be good.
With Bruce and do all your stupid tie-ins and have, and Mr. Crane the psychiatrist, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Do all those tie-ins, but around the city, I kind of want Riverdale with Batman.
Yeah, where he's not 10, where he's an age where he can actually do some stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's more because we don't really know a lot about like teenage Bruce Wayne. And this is not teenage Bruce. This is still child Bruce Wayne, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what they say. This is still kid Bruce Wayne. I mean, give me high school Bruce Wayne. I'm serious, because I think that could work. I really do. If you made it, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be kind of Smallville-ish in a way. You're never gonna escape that. But if you all you have to do is make it interesting. It's not. You can't get bogged down in so much stuff like it seems like they have with Gotham.
Right.
And apparently the show Metropolis is going to follow Lois Lane and Lex Luthor and their respective paths and stuff. And it's not... Here's the thing. It's not no Superman. It's not like a generation before Superman. It's just, oh, Superman hasn't come to Metropolis yet, so there really isn't a Superman yet. There's a Clark, but he's still in Smallville. Fine, whatever.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not, and it's gonna be on like the DC streaming service that they're gonna have Young Justice and Titans and all that stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not like I'll give it a shot, I guess. Kind of like I'll give Krypton a shot, but I'm not looking forward to that either.
Yeah. We got some news about the boys. Anthony Starr from American Gothic, Dominique McElliott from The Last Tycoon, Chance Crawford from Gossip Girl.
Chase Crawford.
Chase. Okay, yeah, Chase Crawford from Gossip Girl, Jesse T. Usher from Survivor's Remorse, and Nathan Mitchell from iZombie joined the cast for the Amazon series.
Yeah, this is still going to be a thing.
Yep.
I'm happy for them.
Oh yeah.
It's another Rogan Goldberg deal, so I'm down.
Oh word. Go ahead and take the next one here. I gotta clear my throat fast.
Yeah, Joanne Whalley has been cast as Sister Maggie in season 3 of Daredevil, so that should be interesting.
Okay. We got some Cloak and Dagger news. Series gets June 7th premiere from Freeform.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's a 2-night thing. Like it premieres on the 7th, and then like it's like a 2-night, 2-hour deal of like the first hour on the 7th, and then the second hour on the 8th, and then like whatever day the 8th is the day it's actually gonna be on, kind of thing. We've seen that done before, where it's a 2-night event, and then the second night is the actual day that the show is. Like the 2-night event will go like Wednesday, Thursday, and it'll be a Thursday show kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that. Yeah, we've seen that before.
Yeah. I see we have ABC and Stephen Brill, from the Mighty Ducks, is reportedly developing the series.
There's an idea floating around. Basically, this is in very, very early development. There's nothing written or anything, but there is the idea that ABC wants to do a Mighty Ducks TV series.
Oh, okay. That would definitely be interesting.
That's you'd hope anyway.
Yeah. Grace American Hero, female-led robot comedy, gets pilot.
Reboot comedy.
Oh, it's a reboot.
Yeah.
When I say robot, I can't fucking read tonight, man. My mind is like 3 other places. I'm saying Jeff instead of Jonathan. Jesus. Oh man.
But yeah, this was because this was a show back in the day. This is another '80s remake.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. Okay, cool. More stuff for more. What is old is new again.
Yeah.
And this, because CBS takes the crown for what's old is new again, I think for the year, unless somebody really wants to dig something up to replace it, because CBS has decided they're going to do a reboot of Magnum P.I. Interestingly, no comma in the title this time. They're going to do a Cagney and Lacey reboot, and with the original cast and creator, they are doing a Murphy Brown sequel.
Oh, wow.
They are doing a new Murphy Brown series with the people from the original series.
Wow.
I mean, okay. I guess.
Man, they're just... Okay.
All right. Somebody did some focus group testing somewhere and said, hey, fake news is really popular, so let's do Murphy Brown again.
Right.
I don't know the thought process behind this. I just don't get it. But okay. I guess because they need. I know what it is. Of course, I know what it is. They need content for their all-access platform.
Bingo.
That's what the hell it is.
I heard the Star Trek's so good. I need to go back and watch the rest of it.
I heard they did some really weird stuff in the last episode or two.
I don't know anything about it. I just know some people were like, "This has been really good." That's all.
I should jump in too, because I saw the first 3 or 4 and enjoyed them. I did.
Same here. I just fell off. Been busy with everything else.
Yeah.
We got some video game news here. Xbox Play Pass, pretty big deal. All games published by Microsoft Studios will release on the service day and date with retail. So, So the next Halo that's going to come out essentially will be with this service you pay for.
Yeah.
The what is it, the pirate game that's coming out that's Xbox exclusive?
Was it Sea of Thieves? Yeah.
Sea of Thieves. So expect first party games. Don't expect third party games anytime soon.
No.
Maybe some second party. Who knows? But expect older games to be on it. They'll probably do deals with companies where there's older games.
Well, they've got a handful now. Like they've got a semi decent library on there now.
And this is fantastic. Like this is the direction it really should go in, because I think the thought process of is kind of like the WWE, where they're like, hey, people maybe buy one or two pay-per-views a year. So if we get them for that price for the whole year, they'll actually sit and watch the product. So people maybe only buy a few of our games, our exclusives a year for $60. If we get them for that price for the year, they can enjoy a lot of the other games, and maybe they'll buy something else.
Or here's the thing: at $10 a month, that's $120 a year. That's two games.
Yeah, it's two games.
But here's the thing: if you're paying $10 for Halo 6, or I'll give you a better example. If you're paying $10 for the next Forza, how much more, instead of 60, how much more likely are you to start buying all that DLC that comes out for it? Like that's where they get you. That's
right.
Where it's going to be, is in all the DLC that you'll buy that maybe you normally wouldn't. I think this is another way to combat used games. We know the Xbox One was originally supposed to be the used game killer, and that went over so well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is a smart way to do it. This is a brilliant, because I have Play Pass. I love it. I bounce back and forth because all the previous Halo games are on there. All the Gears games are on there. There is a ton of stuff on there.
Now is this on PC as well, or is it just Xbox?
I don't know. I want to say just Xbox, since it's called Xbox Play Pass, but double check me on that because I don't know.
Okay.
But Sunset Overdrive is on there. Like there are some, and when it comes to like older games, there's I'm trying to think what that just play. Saints Row 4 is on there. Gat Out of Hell's on there. But there is a really substantive library on there for just.
Oh yeah.
I think there's like 100 games, and I know the PlayStation Now has like 500 or something. But the difference is with Play Pass, you download the game.
Right.
With Now, you stream it. So if your internet sucks, there's no point in having PlayStation Now.
Yep, bingo.
But Play Pass is great. I love it. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, if I had an Xbox, I would 100% have this, because that's a fucking deal.
It is.
That's a steal. Man, like that's perfect. I wish Nintendo or PlayStation did something like this. I know they're not going to. Xbox is kind of in a weird place where they have to do something like this, I think, because the way this generation went.
They came out thinking they were going to just like walk away with the crown, and not only did Sony beat them pretty publicly at E3, exposing the flaws in their system, then Nintendo comes along and cleans up when the Switch finally drops.
Yeah, they just cleaned house.
I mean, that's
so
a shock.
So it's a little bit of mixture of they have to do this, and a little bit of mixture of I'm so glad they did this. This is super smart. This is the direction they should go in. I wish companies would do this. And you're right, this is going to kind of drive away those GameStops, because I'm sorry, but I don't like when I go there and they're like, this game you paid $60 for 2 weeks ago, we're going to give you $8 for it and sell it for $50.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I know you just spent like $64 after tax on this game. Do you want to spend another $20 on the season pass?
Well, I went there. What really bothered me was I went there and I was like, okay, I want to get this game. I had some credit, and I saw this game was on sale for this price, and I brought it up to the counter, and they were like, oh no, that's like the elite deal.
Yeah,
and I'm a pro member, and they're like, yeah, but you're not elite. And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, well, it's another level. And I'm like, there's a VIP of the VIP.
Yes, there is, and I am a member.
and and they had the audacity, and I wasn't rude, but they were like, "Do you want to your thing's up in 7 days?" And I looked at him, and he was the manager on his tag was manager, and the other guy was helping me as well. And I go, "Hey, if I can just be completely honest with you, and it has nothing to do with you two guys, but the fact that I feel that now I paid this already for this club thing that I'm in, the pro member club or whatever, and at the time that's what I was paying for because this whole elite thing didn't exist when I signed up for it.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me that I'm not paying enough to get a discount when I see the price, because it used to be here's the price, here's the pro price.
Right.
Now here's the price, here's the super duper pro price, and they don't even show you the one that I have.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel insulted, and it's not you, it's the way this company's working its thing, and it's a complete turnoff, and I'm absolutely not re-signing up for this thing. And I'm probably going to take my talents to South Beach and probably do Amazon or Best Buy.
Well, you buy a lot of stuff digitally anyway.
I do, yeah. So that's why Amazon's kind of right up my alley.
Yeah. I don't mind. I mean, we can. I'm not gonna defend the idea of like, oh, there's another tier because like you get twice as much on discounts and trade-ins. That was the thing for me. It was like the trade-in deals. You do get more for your trade-in.
I felt insulted because I'm like, wait a second, I paid for the super duper club, and now I'm told, well, we created another one.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. I do. I really do. I don't know. I still like going to a place. I still do physical. I'm trying to move away from it in some instances just because my knock on wood, my disk drive has actually been okay since I moved, which is bizarre. But I'm not asking any questions. But
yeah,
I went up there and did a bunch of trade-ins the other day, and that was when I got Doom. And I love the GameStop up here. Like the guys that work there, and especially the guy that runs it, like they're really great up there. And but yeah, I get where you're coming from. I can totally see how you look at the Elite Pro tier, and you're just like, oh, come on, really? There's free, and then there's Pro, and now there's Elite Pro. Really? I get it. I can totally understand it.
Yeah, it was a total turnoff, and now that other companies, and you're right, digitally, now they're offering digital codes like Amazon and stuff like that, and I think you get like 20% off if you get it like in the first week or something like that, or if you pre-order it. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna look into it. It's not. I had a credit, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go do this, and then I felt insulted. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna renew this. Screw this.
I'm still waiting on them though to fix the program they were gonna do, the used games program.
Oh, okay.
Because they have to update their systems for that, and that's been a couple months, and it's like, come on, guys, you got to start rolling this thing out now.
Yeah.
Like it's time.
Oh yeah. But yeah. Looks like we got some Forza Studio Playground Games working on Fable game.
Yeah, they took Fable away from the people who made Fable and are giving it to the people who made Forza.
Okay.
Because that makes sense.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. We got some. Oh, Nintendo announces new cardboard Joy-Con hybrid. Build your own thing that looks cool.
I like Nintendo Labo or however you pronounce it. It's such a kid thing. It's absolutely like how to make the Switch a toy. But I looked at that and I thought that's neat. I like that. Like, I'm not saying it's some revolutionary anything, it probably won't continue past a handful of extra designs, but I looked at it and I thought, that's neat. I like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope it does continue. Kids would love this.
Oh, yeah, oh, hell yeah.
Kids are going to love this, and I could totally see them. That's the thing is, there's the game that comes out for it. Well, I guess you would need another... Yeah, I guess you would. I was gonna say they could just simply release the cardboard cutout things for like $10 to add to create more things, but you would need the software to go with it.
Well,
so you would just.
You could what? You could just code it, couldn't you? I mean,
what do you mean?
Imagine that as like physical and digital DLC.
Yeah, like, I guess. Yeah.
Here's an actual like expansion pack, and you open the pack, and it itself is the actual cardboard piece. And it has a little code for whatever software you need to download. Like that's I really think you could do something pretty cool with this. And especially If
it's like what, $70, so you're paying for the game for 60, and then the cardboard's only like $10, so it makes sense.
yeah,
Like, and did you see like how in depth the like, for example, the robot one is?
it's yeah, like
Where
this isn't just like something they slap together.
No, like it plays off of like a specific kind of tape on the inside,
Yeah,
and so it knows the specific key you're doing and all this other stuff, and off of the Joy-Con, it like we all kind of laughed when they were like, and the Joy-Con can know how many cubes you're holding in a cup and all this. It's like, okay, that's all right. Who cares about that? But like that kind of technology, that's what this is using, where it knows exactly what pressure is going on what, so that's how it does the piano.
yeah.
And I think that's super cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
Um, but yeah, on the other side of the spectrum, I couldn't read this with a straight face. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't
Yeah.
see that, like, so on ESPN2 you're gonna watch Madden tournaments.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, why not? But like,
Dude, they have Dota and everything else. This is
I
more up their speed than
I
Dota.
yeah, that's why I'm okay with this. But God, it's just it's so redundant to me. It's
Right.
like I'm gonna watch people play games of sports. Like
Yeah.
it's a second.
It's not that crazy though.
It's not crazy. It's just hat on a hat to me. Instead of watching people play sports, you're watching people play games of people playing sports. Like
Yeah, but dude, look how popular Twitch and all that other stuff
oh, I'm
is.
I'm I I'm not arguing. I
Yeah.
think that ESPN has to do something to save its own ass because it's not doing well. But I just love the kind of absurdity of it. I think it's a
Right.
great move and it does make sense. It absolutely makes sense. But just oh my god.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, let's see here. We got behind the scenes to air behind the scenes series to air ESPN VOD and Disney XD.
Yeah, that's gonna go along with the Madden stuff. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
it's oh man, that's the little like docudrama behind like here's this every week and here are the vignettes about the players and oh god.
So after you go see Super Troopers 2, and after you put together your Nintendo Labo cardboard set, you get to play God of War on 420.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
a
gonna be a great day.
that's a hell of a day if you can ever find your keys.
You're right. Yes, don't drive, stay inside.
You never have to really worry about somebody getting stoned and driving because if they're truly stoned, you don't know where your feet are.
That's true. You're not doing it right unless you know where your feet are, unless
That's
you don't know where your feet are.
that's it, man. I can't go out the front door. I lost it. Like
Yeah.
just
You just sit and have a conversation with someone about how weird feet are.
I'm telling you, man. And then you find out you've been talking to a lamp the whole time.
Right. Isn't it a weird angle they're at right now?
Yeah,
Right,
like
exactly.
they're kind of crooked. And man, I don't know what you did with your hair, but the highlights are just killing me. You've got to tone it down next time.
Right, right.
Oh.
Man, hobbits. What a concept.
That was the greatest non sequitur ever. Oh, that was way funnier than it should have been.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We got some Anthem news. BioWare's Destiny knockoff pushed to early 2019 because they have to figure out what they're gonna do with loot boxes.
Well, they don't know where the hobbits are gonna fit in.
Exactly. Did you see that essentially EA came out and said Battlefront 2 has not made as much money as we thought it would,
There's
so
a shock.
loot crates are coming soon in the
Yeah.
next few weeks.
Big surprise. Which means that the next EA games are gonna make even less money.
Yep.
I just EA learned the entirely wrong lesson here. The
Yep.
absolutely wrong lesson.
Yep. Dan Slott is leaving Amazing Spider-Man after 10-year run and moving to Iron Man.
Yeah, we didn't get to cover this last week, but he's bowing
Hey.
out here in the near future. I forget what issue. What I didn't know was there's a lot of hate for his run.
Really?
I didn't know that until like it was one of the rare times I was like, well, I want to see what people are saying about this. And
No.
I saw so much crap, and I was like, wow, I read a totally different run than these guys.
Or what was it? The run where
Superior.
Superior. That was some of the best Spider-Man we've read in years.
Agreed. I absolutely agree. And I am hoping that this is another case of the only comments were negative ones and positive people just stayed away from it. But so much of what I saw was like, oh, that explains why I haven't read Spider-Man in 10 years. I'm like, why in the hell? Like, I don't care, man. Spider-Verse to me was one of the most incredible crossover events ever.
Yeah.
But I loved Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna miss him, man. And whoever steps in after him has some pretty damn big shoes to fill.
You know who I would love to, and it's not going to happen because he's totally all DC. Tom King could write one hell of a Spider-Man.
Ooh.
The stuff he's doing with Batman right now, the stuff that he's doing with Miracle Man, is it Mr. Miracle?
Mr. Miracle, yeah.
Mr. Miracle, yeah. So good. I just picked up the Vision, the whole set from the run that he did of the Vision.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yes. Have you read any of it?
No.
You need to read it.
That's what I heard. Because isn't that the one where like he's got a kid or something?
Yeah, he's got a family.
That's right. That's the weird like what the hell is this? But yeah.
And it's sad. It makes you feel things, and he's a robot, but he loves and he cares and he just wants. Oh my God, it's heartbreaking. And it is a punch to the gut, and the relationship he has with his wife and his kids and what happens, and oh man, it's on another level. And there's a piece of artwork, and I'll share it with you later, that kind of just like, I don't know, from what I've read so far of it, it's perfect of it. And it's so good. That series, if you really gotta seek it out and find it. It's so good. And I went into the comic shop and recently, because by the way, they moved next door.
Oh, did they?
At the local one, at a comic shop. Well, what happened was they're turning the what used to be the comic shop and the Geek Easy into a barcade like place. It's still going to be called the Geek Easy. Aaron does not own that anymore. He sold that part. He owns the comic shop, which is next door, which used to be like a tattoo parlor. So
right.
It's pretty much the same space, but without all of that stuff. What was happening essentially, from what I understand, is that they had the comic shop open and then the Geek Easy was open. So the comics shop had to stay open, so they were having to keep people working the comic shop while the Geek Easy was open until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And so they were just playing babysitters, and it just became way too much. So this way, it's a win-win for everybody. They're still in a great relationship with the people who now own it. I don't know exactly who does, but it's a barcade where there's going to be the big stage. That's where they're going to do all their signings and everything. Still, it's still going to be a bar. Now it's going to be filled with arcade machines. And the comic shop is right next door, and the comic shop is going to have normal hours, where it closes at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays.
I always thought that was the only part that I didn't even really think about that all that much. But somebody's got. Oh man, yeah.
Someone's got to stand there and keep the comic shop open, because that's everyone just kind of hangs out there.
Yeah.
And so this made sense. So they're completely redoing the second. I might go in and put an app there and be like, hey, you need a guy for like 2 days a week or something.
Go for it, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because that would be fun. That would totally be fun. And when I went in there and I was like, I'm loving this Tom King stuff. I want everything with Tom King. And he's like, have you read The Vision? Read this. And he hands me the comics. And I was like, why hasn't he done any indie stuff? And he's like, he's so new. He's so new. He has nothing indie.
Nice.
And the thing is, that's the thing. He writes like an indie writer. He writes like this is the Sex Criminals or something like that. It's because it's way more character first than their superhero stuff. That's why the Vision sounds so out there because it doesn't sound like anything you think of the Vision, because it's really not. It's about this relationship, and he does such a way of tying the story into with each other. That's why the Batman story about the part with the Joker versus
Is that the Joker Riddler war?
the Joker Riddler war, it's about Kite Man. Like the entire thing is literally about Kite Man and his struggle between working between the two, and he just had enough of it, and like it had to do with his kid and not disappointing his kid. Everything that I've read that he does is about relationships, and especially Mr. Miracle.
Nice.
And so that's why I'll read anything he writes. It doesn't matter what the character is, because it's on that level, and it makes you care about the characters that you've never heard before or never really paid any interest in. So anyway, sorry about that. So Dan Slott, we'll see him on Iron Man. I'm interested to see what he does on Iron Man, because I don't know if Iron Man's still dead or not. I know that I think he's back. He was like hibernating for a little bit. He was like Ghost Tony Stark.
Okay.
He was like I guess you haven't been reading. He was like Red in every comic, and he was like a silhouette of Tony Stark walking around and stuff like that.
So
like
so what? He was basically Jarvis.
He was Jarvis, yeah, essentially, because his body was hibernating.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, he had like a battle. I forget what happened. He fought. Okay, that's what it was. Civil War II. He fought Miss Marvel and died, and essentially, but his body they put it in some machine thing that he had all set up, and his body was just basically like on ice. And so while he was like that, he put his subconscious into some AI, and so essentially he was Jarvis, and so he was running around the Marvel universe. Anytime they had Tony Stark, it was just a red Tony Stark, just all red.
That's look. A Tony Stark AI is a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
Think about if he decides to go rampant. That's horrifying.
Oh yeah, I need to get back into Marvel's comics. They've really done a good job with a lot of their newer stuff. I just haven't found a place to stick yet. I know that the Jean Grey stuff starts soon. They have me on a pull list now with some of the Marvel stuff coming out, kind of like some of the number one issues or what have you, the starting points.
Right.
But it's all kind of leading right now to the Wolverine stuff, like Wolverine coming back alive. And it really pissed me off that the Wolverine stuff is all in the back of issues. So it's like you have to pick up this issue to get this part of the story, and then you have to get this issue later, and you only read the back of it to get the second part of that story. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not gonna pick up some random comic that I'm not reading just to read 2-3 pages of a story that I'm interested in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, that bothered me. I'm like, and they were like, yep, nope, we understand. Like, we would not recommend you spend $4 on a comic you don't care about for 2 pages in the back. They're just as kind of like what the fuck as the customers are. Yeah. Hopefully they get their shit together. Let's see here. Before we get to the Royal Rumble, we have This Week in Sexual Harassment.
Yeah, David Copperfield's at it again.
I hate that this is like a weekly thing.
But
this should not be a segment of our show.
It shouldn't be, but as long as it needs to be, it will be.
Right. No, I mean I totally understand.
Yeah.
It's just that's so frustrating.
But
David Copperfield, wasn't that like his nickname that people gave?
Because there were allegations a number of years ago.
That's
and
right,
then they just kind of disappeared, and the woman got busted for prostitution and some other stuff, and it ended badly for her, and it cast a lot of doubt of like, oh, well, was this then really what happened? Because it kind of all fell apart. But he's accused again. This time it's a model from 19, and I wrote 98. I think I might have written that down wrong. I think it was 88. Model named Brittany Lewis. She was 17 at the time. Is accusing him of actually drugging her and assaulting her.
Wow.
To an unknown extent.
Jesus.
And it's just yeah, I don't. I know where all this is coming, where all this behavior is coming from, because I look at this and I see, oh yeah, it's this and it's this and it's this, and it's the wealth and power and
Well,
I
that's
guess
the crazy
fame.
thing. Why are you drugging anyone?
Because
You would
sometimes
think. Now, here's cynical me thinking.
I know where you're
You're
going,
David
but yeah,
Copperfield. Why would you? Right? Like it's not like you don't have to trick them. Um, like someone of wealth, and you're absolutely right. Someone of wealth, someone with power. You're gonna have people throwing themselves at you,
you have
groupies
groupies,
and stuff
man.
like that.
Just
And as long as it's consensual, whatever. Why would you drug somebody? Like
pa-
that doesn't make any sense.
power. This is always it's like rape is never about the sex. It's about the power.
You're
It's
absolutely
about
right.
control. It's about saying I have exerted my will on another human being.
I guess this was someone who said no to him, and he was like, "Not me," that kind
Yeah.
of deal.
Uh,
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
and then
Oh,
we have Vince McMahon in the news again for something other that for something else stupid that he did.
yeah. Now,
That
see,
with
I didn't know about this. Now, it was a news story from a while ago, but
yeah
because of everything that's coming up, and I think obviously because he did the XFL thing, his name's back up in the news.
yeah
Uh,
this was
People are
an
like, "Hey, guess what?"
yeah, he did this back in 2006, remember? And
Right? Nothing
that
was
was
done.
that was another one where like the investigation just kind of went away. Uh,
I thought about this. Obviously, there's a lot of people coming forward about things that have happened in the past, and rightfully so. Um, and I always wondered because of the way Vince McMahon runs his business, and because of how out there it was in the '90s.
how
I don't know how it was behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
yeah
I'm trying to listen to good old JR's audiobook now, Slobberknocker or something.
yeah.
I downloaded for the for Audible, so I'm sure I'll get some cool stuff. But I always wondered how professional it was. Uh, you know what I mean? Because a lot of the things he had his stars do and everything else, I wonder if it ever did cross the line. And I'm wondering if because the company was very different back then. What it is, it's a public trading company now. It is PG. It is this massive worldwide thing. I'm wondering if there are skeletons in these people's
Oh, I have.
closets
There's no doubt in my mind that
because
there.
you hear the stories.
Yeah, and it's and the ones that you hear are the fun, kooky ones.
Well,
The
even even like you hear about X-Pac and
yeah.
you hear about Kevin Nash and all of them with strippers and everything else and whatever. Things are consensual. That's not a problem. But I'm wondering if there are some really bad skeletons in
How?
some of these guys'
Yeah,
closets.
because here's the thing. Back in the day, in particular, before social media, before all this, how
Right.
many blind eyes were turned?
Right.
And that's you know,
Yeah.
and I imagine it's many. I imagine it's very many.
Yeah. Yep. So that's yeah. Yeah, and that's why I was wondering if like how long is Vince going to be in charge? Where they would not want to get him kind of out of there.
I,
Uh,
I you know, I I don't know. I don't know.
he- so let me ask you, Vince tomorrow retires from the WWE. He is no longer in control. He's not going show to show. He's not the last guy on the totem pole. Who takes over?
Hunter.
Hunter. So
Hunter.
Triple H does,
Oh yeah, he's absolutely
and we
groomed
all
to be next in
rejoice.
line. Yes. I
Yes,
yes, and there was
and we
much
all
rejoicing.
as much rejoicing. Yes, because I was talking to people. Everyone wants kind of what we were talking about, Braun to be in the main show. No, not a single soul. But it seems like they're kind of listening with. Let's talk about the Rumble.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's yes.
you know, and
This
I don't know if we should we bury the lead or should we just get right into it?
let's do this. Let's do this the way we do. Let's go from start to finish.
Okay,
So if you haven't seen the Rumble, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week because we are going to
yes,
spoil it. We can't not spoil the hell out of this.
we have to.
Because the way the matches started, I didn't think the WWE title match would kick off the show.
Yeah, no one did.
That was surprising. It was a good match. I liked the match. I enjoyed the
Well, we didn't talk.
shenanigans.
We didn't talk about the pre-show.
I didn't watch the pre-show. What happened on the pre-show?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna butcher these names.
There was
Kalisto, Grand Maltique, and Lance Dorado.
okay. Let me work on this. Grand Metalik and
Yep,
Lindsay Dorado. Yeah,
Lindsay Dorado. Yes, defeats TJP, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gallic.
Gulak.
So
Yeah.
Gulak. God, tonight is my worst. So anyway, um, that was a really good match. I actually liked that. Just it was a shame there was 30 people there to watch it.
Yeah, that's the pre-show for you, especially
Yeah.
that early in the pre-show, because there were 3 matches on the pre-show, weren't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the Revival defeated the Club, basically Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and I knew it was going to happen because they kind of buried them on that Monday.
Yeah, so they had to give him a little cred back.
Yes. And Bobby Roode did his Open U.S. Challenge, and they swapped it at the last minute because the person who was supposed to come out, they pushed for the Royal Rumble, and we'll get to that. But Mojo Rawley came out and was defeated. They didn't want to surprise everybody with this person for him to be defeated in 7 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense.
So I'm good with with Mojo stepping up and just getting his ass handed to him. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it was totally cool.
He won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal last year. He can take an L.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you go ahead. Go ahead with the Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. The first match.
Well, it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked the shenanigans at the end and the way they kind of worked that into the backstage stuff. It worked and it carried, especially to the Rumble. And I hope there's a payoff to that instead of it's just like blown off. It may have been blown off on SmackDown this week. I haven't seen it yet. So
there's a you okay? Do you want me to tell you?
No, because I'm gonna watch.
Okay.
Like, do they? Okay. Is it addressed? Because so many times, like,
yes.
Somebody gets beaten up backstage, and then it's just like never heard of again.
No, it's all addressed.
Okay, good.
Good. Yeah, we are on the road to WrestleMania, and we're kind of getting an idea of what's going to happen at the pay-per-view and at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because they've got Fastlane in March.
Yes.
Yes, March. Yeah, Raw gets the Chamber this year. SmackDown gets Fastlane. They switched it from last year, which is good. But so we had that, and that was fun. And then we had the SmackDown Tag Team Title match.
Yes.
Or as I like to call it, the funeral of American Alpha 2.
Oh my God! What was that? Like, why would they do that?
That was a poster for the fact that nothing will happen if you get busted for a DWI in Texas.
Yeah.
Because the first fall was good. The first fall was competitive, and then they just turned around and scooped the second one, and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how 2 out of 3 fall matches work.
No, yeah.
You trade the first 2 so you can build some drama for the third one, and they just went, nope.
Do you think someone got hurt or something?
I don't think so. I think it was just we don't know what to do with Benjamin and Gable, and they could have done so much because they've been hinting with Gable at like this whole like I'm gonna do whatever it takes and I will take the shortcuts and I will cheat and I don't give a damn because I'm tired of not winning. And I thought they were going to go somewhere with that, and I guess not.
No, there's some definite hints at who they're going to be facing, probably at Fastlane.
Okay. Well, you can kind of tell, just let me ask this, is it the Bludgeon Brothers? Because that's kind of where they're building, I think.
They come out during their segment, yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
They do their Uso penitentiary and it's clang, and then they go to walk out of the ring, and then you hear the Bludgeon Brothers, and they look scared, and then the Bludgeon Brothers walk past them and then squash somebody.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's what they're setting up. But,
dude, I love Bludgeon Brothers, and I thought Authors of Pain?
Authors of Pain, yeah.
I thought because I thought it was their music at first. I was like, okay, they're gonna come out, and then no, it wasn't. I was like, oh well, what are they gonna do with them? They need to come up.
I think they're gonna get the post WrestleMania call up for sure because they'll have one more with the Undisputed Era. Because let's talk Takeover real quick. Did you watch that?
Yes.
God Almighty. So that tag match was excellent. The women's match was excellent. that was better than I had ever thought it was going to be, because Shayna Baszler is still just not good in a WWE ring yet.
Right.
But Ember carried that match one-handed sometimes, and it was great. The end of that match was magnificent. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
That whole sequence. Yeah, the tag match was great. I love, because Undisputed Era had to, like, they weren't gonna beat AOP.
No.
It wasn't gonna happen. They had to sneak one, and and they did it fantastically. They set it up great. They executed great. It was awesome. The Falls Count Anywhere, or not the Falls Count Anywhere, the Extreme Rules match was rough.
Oh yeah.
Oh, was that tough? But
so good.
Damn if it wasn't good. And I'm gonna tell you what, and
I'm cold, baby.
And yeah, you're right. And I'll tell you what, God, that the drop across those two chairs, just that hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt to watch. Oh my God.
Yeah, those two guys are going to be called up real soon.
I think Black gets a call up soon for sure. I think Cole stays around and feuds. I think Cole gets to be champ before he gets the call up. I think he holds that title. And I'll tell you what, and I said this after the last takeover, and I haven't been watching NXT like I should be. Do not sleep on Velveteen Dream. Because damn is he good. Every promo every vignette they had for him before he came out, I just looked at it and I cringed, not because of the character, but because I thought, I've seen what they do with this character.
Right.
And I was so worried, like, guys, it's 2017 back then. You can't do this. But man, he comes out and he just owns it.
He owns it for sure.
And his ring work is incredible. Like, this is serious. This kid is good.
Oh yeah.
And
they had a pillow for his mouthpiece.
I'm telling you what, he had this thing to the nines. He came out in the shorts, and God bless the NXT crowds, because as soon as that bell rang, 1, 2, 3, 4.
As much as I would love to see the Rumble live again, I haven't seen it, but I hope it comes to Orlando soon. I secretly want Philly to be the Rumble crowd from now on.
They were so good. Oh my God,
because they're so good.
But I mean, you get any NXT crowd in there, and they're great. NXT crowds are kind of like indie crowds, and they're phenomenal. I love them to death. And then the main. You want to talk instant match of the year?
Oh, totally.
I don't know how you. Dave
Meltzer said it was the best NXT match of all time.
I don't argue that. I don't argue that at all. It's there have been some true classics in NXT. Sasha Bailey was great both times, including the Iron Woman match.
Sami and Shinsuke.
Sami and Cesaro 2 out of 3 falls. The Revival DIY 2 out of 3 falls at TakeOver Toronto was my favorite. Was my favorite and my pick as the best ever until Almas Gargano
that's the
this
thing.
week.
I don't know that much about either of these guys. I know that Johnny Gongargo, or he's Johnny Wrestler, right? That's
Johnny Wrestling, yeah.
Johnny Wrestling. I knew that there was a breakup between him and that other guy. He slammed him into the sign on the last takeover, right?
Yeah. A couple takeovers ago.
That's all I knew going into it, and holy shit. They told the story. The whole match told the story that you needed to know.
They did. Almas couldn't find his feet originally, and then when they paired him with Zelina Vega, it just clicked, and suddenly he really started to take off.
Now I've seen him live. He was there when Shinsuke was there.
Nice.
And I want, I'm looking at tickets to go later next month. I want to go to the live event. I just need to get some people to go with me. That's the only thing.
Go. If I was there, I would go in a heartbeat. Because NXT, like that whole takeover was fantastic, and it reminded me that NXT is really freaking good.
Oh, it's so good.
But God, that match, and they even had Candice run Zelina off, which was phenomenal. But just because the thing about Almas was in Mexico forever, and he wrestled as La Sombra, and he was a founding member of a little group called Los Ingobernables,
Oh, wow.
which would go on to have a little Japanese star come over and work with them and go off to New Japan and start a group called Los Ingobernables de Japón. And that's where that came from. Was the group? It was an offshoot of the group that Almas founded, was one of the founding members of. Just like there's a Mexican Bullet Club. It's kind of the reciprocal of that. So that's where that came from, and he was part of that for a while. And that's why he was like, when he came to NXT, people were like, okay, this is awesome, and then it just kind of fizzed. And then they put him with Zelina Vega, and it took off again, and he makes a hell of a champion. And the match he and Gargano had was I would say it ranks as one of the best WWE matches ever.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious, because it's just that damn good. They gave them the time to go out and tell this ridiculously emotional story. It was so good, and you just, because you cheered for Gargano, because he plays that heel, that face, that underdog. Like, I will not be stopped. I will get you. Knock me down, I will get up. You knock me down again, I will grab the ropes with my teeth to pull myself up kind of character. He nails it. He takes all the sympathy, and he just draws that crowd in, and then almost just tears his head off, and it's it's heartbreaking. But God, that match was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. But anyway, to get back to the main show, the third match on the card was the Men's Royal Rumble. And not a lot of surprises. Speaking of Almas, we had him show up, which was nice, and he was in there for a good little while.
Yeah.
We had Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby.
And he was I love Adam Cole. Adam Cole's phenomenal. Not much in the way of surprises except for the Hurricane.
Yes.
I'm sitting here and just like, okay, they haven't really done a whole lot. Nothing, no big jumps or anything. Excuse me. They were going to bring Ty out at number 10 again because, hey, why the hell not? But Kevin and Sammy jumped him in the back, and so Sammy took the spot. But I'm sitting here and the buzzer goes off and you hear, "Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through," and I lost my head.
Yeah.
I thought, you gotta.
They have so much. Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off, man, but they have so much talent. They really should up it to 40.
They have done that in years past, and it just drags.
Oh,
It makes 40 is too long.
Okay.
Even though they cut the time between, it's too many.
Okay.
Yeah, they tried
because there's so much talent. There's so many guys there.
Yeah. They tried that. It didn't work so well. Jinder Mahal eliminating almost all of New Day was frightening and horrifying and magnificent all at the same time. Because it was like, if you're gonna boo me, I'm gonna give you a reason. So we're gonna throw out Big E, and we're gonna throw out Xavier Woods, and we're gonna throw out Kofi, who's initially gonna land on Xavier Woods, and Xavier's gonna think, I can't have him standing on me forever. What do I do with this foot? Oh, here's our plate of pancakes we brought with us.
It's perfect.
And then the great thing of, he's like, okay, I'm gonna get back in this ring now, and then there's Jinder playing defense. It was great. He didn't just walk away. He stayed and he watched, and he was like, nope, not getting back in. Nope, not getting back in. So then they decide, well, we'll just catapult Kofi into the ring.
Right.
He got air like I've never seen.
Oh, yeah.
That was insane, because to get from like a couple feet below the ring apron just to clear the ropes is a good, 6 feet from where he started.
I don't know how they don't snap their legs.
And then he clears Jinder on top of that, standing up. Jinder didn't duck under him. He cleared Jinder. So he had another, 2-3 feet of air on top of that. I mean, he went up.
Oh yeah.
But, and then eliminates Jinder, and then eventually, bye-bye Kofi.
Yeah.
They cemented a future main event star, though, in the Royal Rumble. And this was somebody who just took the beating, and he kept at it, and eventually just had a fantastic moment. So hats off to Heath Slater. He's got kids, and he made them proud tonight.
Oh man, he got his butt kicked for so long, and then he just tosses Sheamus like nothing.
And then as soon as I love though that after Corbin left and tore everybody down, including Heath, every time somebody came out, the next few people, they just kicked Keith in the head. They just kicked Heath right in the head. Like, it was great because of course you would, And then Sheamus is like, no, I'm gonna throw him in, and he turns around and takes him out, and the ring stopped.
Yep.
If you go back to that moment and watch, everybody froze. It was so fantastic. So happy birthday,
this
Sheamus.
My moment.
Yeah.
Right.
You get eliminated by Heath Slater. And then to do, like, we get down to the old guard and the new guard. I like that. You've got Cena and Orton and my brain is completely fried. I can't remember who the sixth guy was.
Was it Mysterio?
Mysterio, thank you. Who was another surprise, and I have never seen Rey Mysterio in that. The last time I saw Mysterio in that kind of shape was in ECW.
Or in WWE All-Stars.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
He looks straight up like his character.
To bring him back
WWE
around,
All-Stars.
Yeah. He looks in incredible shape. Oh my god, he was amazing. And it was like, oh cool, Rey Mysterio's back. And then you saw him and you're like, damn, Rey Mysterio is back.
He looked jacked.
It was great because Rey, the last couple years of his WWE run, had looked a little rough. But I mean, he came back, and I mean, he came back like people come back from injury look.
Right.
Like trim and no fat and all and everything buffed out and just like, I mean, he was fantastic. Yeah. You had those three on one side, and you had Balor, Reigns, and Nakamura on the other side. And it was a great segment. And then you set up the last four with Cena and Reigns and knocking Balor. And then you have Cena eliminate Balor because boo. And then you have Knock eliminate Cena because sure, why the hell not? And you have the two people who everybody thinks are going to win. Everybody either thought Knock was going to win or Reigns was going to win. And so you set that up. And just, I was standing. I could not sit for that whole thing because my heart just wouldn't take it. And then to the spear and the whole bit, but Knox fighting back, and then that Kinshasa and Reigns goes out, and
he's come on.
I love it, man, because that's a moment where that works.
Good. Perfect.
Usually it feels a little forced. And it's like I don't know if it quite works all the time. It's a fun spot, and I love it as a taunt. But in that moment, you wanted it, like you were watching it and just waiting for that.
Thinking about the Rumble beforehand, that was where I was like, okay, he's probably gonna do that. Reigns comes at him, maybe tries to spear him, and he tosses him over the rope. But when he does it in the ring, and then you're seeing it live, and you're like, oh, there's the taunt. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But watching Nakamura win the Royal Rumble was just like, did somebody throw Vince McMahon in a trunk somewhere? There was no way.
And he did his pose. He bent down over the rope or whatever. It was so good.
And then of course, and I didn't know it was winner's choice, whoever the champion they were going to face. And just listening to the crowd and watching Knock like lean to the microphone and then just kind of look and then just smile. Like, who else am I going to... Do you really think I'm going to pick Brock Lesnar? Really? Like
that would have been such a swerve.
it would have been, and people would have went, why? Why?
Right. What do you think Vince McMahon would do in the back? If that would totally derail his WrestleMania.
It would. Oh my god, it would freak everybody out.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like how he's just like, hey, Jay Styles. Yeah, it was so good.
Oh man, so we have, and I hope it's the main event. I really hope they let that be the main event, because that's how it used to be. You win the Rumble, you main event Mania.
I don't want to spoil SmackDown too much, but tonight, my one of my favorite parts is he just looks at AJ and he goes, "I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania." That's all he says to him. And he's like, "No, come on, we need to talk." He's like, "I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania." He's like, "No, Shinsuke, we need to talk."
Oh, I love it, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
And that's because that was a moment watching this, and I was, oh my god, I was losing my mind.
Yep. I hope they just let them go. I hope they
Yes.
just straight up do what they did at New Japan. They let them get a little bit physical. They get a little bit more lenient with that because they can put on one hell of a match they can just let go.
They will put on one of, if not the greatest WrestleMania main events from a match, from a wrestling match standpoint and a storytelling standpoint. Maybe it's not the greatest moment the company has ever seen because there have been so many other iconic things, but they will put on a match for the ages if that's why it has to be the main event. Because if they close the show, they can say, look, just go out there and do this. They're not worried about cutting anybody else's time. WrestleMania is going to be 89 hours anyway.
Yeah.
It's just let them go out there and do their thing. And just point them to the ring and say, go. And they will do it. They will absolutely do it, and it will be incredible, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, man, for a brief moment I was like, what is the prices for this? It made me look it up, and it's way too late to even do that now.
Oh yeah. No, you can't get WrestleMania tickets now.
No. It's so like, oh man, because the problem was the reason why I didn't even think about this WrestleMania because I was like, I don't want to see Brock and Roman live. That's kind of boring.
Yeah.
The last one was obvious in Orlando, and it's Taker's last match. But yeah, man, I wish I would have known that match was a lot sooner because they do packages where it's not too bad and you get the whole flight, hotel, and everything. But man, for a brief moment, I was like, "What are the?" But nope, not gonna do it.
To see Styles knock live,
that's what made me think like that is a match.
I'm looking at both. I'm sitting here going, I only need one kidney.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, if you could pay me enough, I would consider it.
I was like, well, I get my taxes back. I totally do that.
Yeah.
And oh man, it just no, because it's way. If I could pay the prices because I don't even did they do packages this year?
Oh yeah, they always do.
When I looked online, I could only find the ones from Orlando. I'm like, why can't I find the ones from New Orleans? But yeah, no, I think it was like $1,500 for just tickets to the whole weekend, and plane tickets and everything else. And that's not bad if you do it long enough, and you can do you make payments on it.
Yeah.
Man,
that's kind of one where you just have like a WrestleMania credit card.
Yeah.
And that's that's the only thing you use. It goes completely dead the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And then you use it for those packages and for some merch. And that's it. That's the only thing you use it for.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know people that pay that much to go to EDC Las Vegas every year and stuff like that. So, it's for a whole weekend of it. You get the NXT show, you get that show, you get whatever. It's I don't know. If I was going with a group of people, it'd be different. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But this year I'm going to enjoy it on my couch. And because it's different being there, but at the same time, you can watch the match, like really watch the match, sitting at home on your couch. So, but yeah, to see them live would have been something else.
Yeah, it's that match.
The next year when Braun Strowman is champion, that maybe that one. It's got to be right. They got to give it to Roman to give it to Braun.
I'm okay. I would not hate for Roman to hold the title for a year if, and this is a giant if, that means that we get Braun next year at Mania.
Yeah, because if they pass his time up, I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah,
they would have done that to CM Punk. They would have done that to Daniel Bryan. I don't want to see that. But anyway, where were we? So we watched that. That was fantastic.
Yeah. And then we had the Raw Tag Team title match. Those poor bastards.
Yeah, I mean, that
They
was
just-
just, they knew that it was going to be the dead match where everyone was taking a piss.
That was the spot of death to be there.
Yeah.
And
But-
I mean, it was a fine match. I mean, it told a
Yeah.
good story with Jason Jordan,
Yeah.
who was the only one of the four not in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he was the one that, like, gave up, right?
Yeah, well, because he had his bell rung, and they wanted to sell the whole concussion angle and everything.
Right. He just went and
so-
sat. Like, he
I
sat
really,
on the
I really
stairs,
do
like,
love that. Like after he got in the match, like he then just turned around and tagged himself back out.
Seth's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And so they
So
lost, and the Bar
where-
are tag team champs again.
So where do you think this goes from Mania? Who do you think's going to be... I mean, who do they challenge? That division for Raw. I'm trying to think of who is there a tag team division on Raw right now?
Revival. It's gotta be.
Oh, man, see, this is now where I wish Rusev was on Raw.
Yeah, right.
Because they deserve the titles. Or the Fashion Police. I would love to see them. Yeah.
I think we're gonna finally see Fashion Police versus Ascension on the WrestleMania pre-show.
Right. Well, I think the whole idea was to have Dean and Seth have the tag team, have Roman have the
Universal title, yeah.
Universal title, and have one of them have the Intercontinental to be the most dominant force in the WWE, closing out WrestleMania.
Yeah.
To have the Shield on top. I think that was the whole idea, and then now that Dean's injured, that's all scrapped.
Yeah, they've had to scramble.
They'll probably just have Seth versus Jason Jordan for WrestleMania.
Put that on a pre-show too. I don't care.
Yep.
It'll go on the main because it's Seth and he can put on a hell of a match. But I just
burn it down, dude. What about his pants?
Oh my god, those pants! Oh my god,
I liked them. They were great.
I was waiting for them to run out of batteries.
Yeah.
Like oh my god, those pants. Those pants reminded me of shirts I used to wear in like 8th grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm pretty sure I had those exact pants as a shirt in 8th grade.
Oh, the Thrasher shirts. Yes.
Just like, oh my god,
Oh man, it reminds me of what that guy who goes around to the dive bars or the food. What's his name?
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, total Guy Fieri shirt. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Please, Seth, don't ever wear them again.
I liked them.
They looked ridiculous.
Burn it down. I thought they were.
I mean, they worked with that, but just like,
they stood out. I mean, everyone's like, "Hey, look at Seth's pants."
That's true. That's true. They were.
Yep. After a few months, they'll look worn out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then we got the Women's Rumble, which the if you have not watched the Cultaholic guys watch the Royal Rumble.
The championship was before that.
Oh yeah, we had but I mean, who cares? Like, we talked about that a little already, and it was it was the big guys went out and did all their big moves, and then Kane got pinned. Like, that's by Brock. You're winner, and still,
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine. But I mean, it was exactly what we expected, and I'm kind of tired of it.
Everyone is tired of it.
I'm just like, it's great. Brock goes out and destroys people, and Kane can come out and destroy people, and Braun can come out and destroy people. So they're gonna come out and destroy each other, except Kane gets beat so that Braun still looks strong, because we all forgot about how at No Mercy Brock beat Braun after one F5.
Right.
So I mean, like, it was fine.
Well, this is the exact same thing that happened a few years ago with Brock, and Seth Rollins, and who was it when Brock went when Rollins ended WrestleMania as the champion?
He beat Reigns to win the title.
Correct.
It was Brock, Reigns.
So that year at the Royal Rumble, it was the exact same match with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar pinned someone else. It was John Cena or somebody.
It was him. It was Brock, Cena, and
Roman. And then Roman came into the Roman came into
The Rumble,
the
yeah.
Rumble and won it. So it was literally the exact same thing.
Yeah. Except that match was really good.
Right, right, right. But
That
like
match was
that's how old they're creative is just like, well, let's just do the same thing this
well,
year.
but I mean I don't know what they needed Kane for. Like I don't
They
understand.
needed Kane to take a pin, so Braun did not look weak.
Well, but I mean they could have there's nobody else on that roster they could have used, really.
Big guy, Kane is not going to he's going to be doing his mayor thing for the
That's right.
next few
He and
months.
Undertaker doing
Yeah.
an event on March
Yep.
1st.
So they were like,
God
we,
almighty.
Big Show's not there. We'll just have him bury Kane, and now because that's Braun at the very end goes, you didn't. I thought he said you didn't kill me,
You didn't
but
pin me, yeah.
yeah, you didn't pin me. So
They
like
could have
that's the
given
whole idea.
they could have given him Mark Henry. Mark Henry hasn't done anything in a while.
Yeah, no,
Bring Mark
absolutely.
Henry up. We saw him at Raw 25. He's still kicking around back there in his ring gear.
I agree,
They
but they
could have
wanted the monster, the machine, and the whatever.
well, I mean, come on. I mean, Mark Henry, was the strongman champion. He's the world's strongest man. Like that's
Don't get me wrong. I would love if Mark Henry did it, but
I like it.
that role was let's just insert somebody.
Right, and I would have
Yeah.
I would have rather it been Mark, really.
Right.
But whatever. But the difference being they had a good match the other year. It was so good
Right.
that when Raw the next night was snowed out, they just replayed it. Like that's how damn good that match was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, but the Big Show had a great match with Braun too, so he could have easily been in there.
Well, I mean, Big Show's hurt.
Oh, he's legitimately hurt right now.
He's doing was it hip surgery? He had hip surgery, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And of course Joe is hurt. Or I would have liked it to have been Joe. I would have been okay if they had beat Joe.
Right.
That would have been okay.
But they kind of want to protect Joe too. Kane's just the old guy out,
Yeah, but
so
I mean,
he's
Brock,
going to take pins forever now.
Right, but Brock already beat Joe. Brock beat Joe before he beat Braun. Like, I mean,
That's true.
we've seen those matches before.
That's
I don't know. I mean, the way they did it was the way it should have ended. With
Right.
Brock beating not Braun, whoever they were going to put in that role.
Right.
But it didn't need to be Kane. But
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Maybe it did. I don't know. But whatever.
Did we talk about how a lot of the rumors were going around how the Rumble was going to end with the guys? How the last two guys were going to knock each other out,
Oh, God,
28
yeah, I
and
saw
29.
that.
No one's in the ring. This would be the first time it ever happened. So whoever number 30 was going to hit would be the winner of the Rumble.
And it would have been
everyone
Daniel
thought
Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. But here's the twist. Daniel Bryan's music plays. Everyone freaks out, loses their minds. Dolph Ziggler walks out.
And having him in at number 30 for this year was a great, hey, Dolph's back. Remember when he quit and abdicated the U.S. title because he doesn't want to be here anymore, which he said on a bunch of different podcasts. But look, he's back, and he's going to make a statement, and that statement is, nobody really likes me because I'm going to get thrown out of here pretty quick.
Right, exactly.
It wasn't a comedic quick. It was like,
right.
I came in, I took a shot, and I failed miserably.
Right. So anyway, let's get back to the women's Rumble this time. Yeah,
and
that's
this was the one that was going to be. If you haven't watched the Cultaholic guys watch the Royal Rumble, it is worth it just to watch them watch the women's Rumble because one of their drinking rules was to down your drink for every debut, turn, or return. Like for any face or heel turn, down your drink. Any debut, down, or call up, down your drink. Any return, down your drink. Half of that freaking women's Rumble was all return.
Yeah.
We had Kelly, who we didn't need because she was terrible. We had the Bella Twins, who were there because, of course they were.
Of course. Yeah, they got to have the Bellas there.
And we didn't need because they never got any better either.
But they're still very important. They're not the Women's Revolution or any of that. Yes, they are.
They're not important. They are the last of the divas. They are the end. They are the end of that breed, and they didn't need to be there because this was not about them. They didn't actually. All they did, when you talk about the Bellas are everything that was prominent and wrong with the Divas division. They're great on reality TV, and the show is fantastic, and it's fun, and it's funny, and I'm not taking any of that or the public exposure away from them at all. But they are divas. They are, and I don't mean that in the
Right.
Aretha Franklin sense. I mean that in
But
the
so
WWE
were a lot
sense.
of the other people that came
And
that was introduced as well.
agreed, like Kelly, who shouldn't have been there because she was terrible. Like Tori Wilson, who for all of the perceived trailblazing was terrible in the ring, was
Right.
just bad at wrestling. Now the difference being with them and some of the others, Jacqueline being in there in a straight up fight would have beat any of them. Jacqueline
Right.
was fantastic. Molly Holly was another one who was criminally underused.
Right.
Molly Holly was great back in the day. Michelle McCool was also really, really great. She was just stuck in the wrong time.
Right.
The biggest victim of that was Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
I love and adore Beth Phoenix, and she came in at the tail end of the whole of what I call the Trish Stratus era. Her and Lita and Molly and Ivory and Mickie James. Gail Kim was another one. Beth Phoenix
Right.
came in as they were transitioning to divas and just completely missed the boat because it wasn't about what she was. If Beth Phoenix debuted now, she would be top of the card.
Right.
No question in my mind. But it was great to see her back. And I know I'm forgetting one. Who am I forgetting? Oh, excuse me. How could I forget?
Excuse me.
God, I love it. Vicky Guerrero defined her own kind of heat.
Yeah.
There's X-Pac heat, but then there's Vicky Guerrero heat. Vicky was just a heat sink. She was a heat magnet.
Yeah.
She was magnificent, and I missed her. And as soon as I heard that, I was on the floor.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could not quit laughing. And the way she just kept at it, and I was like, that's the Vicky we all know and love. God bless Vicky Guerrero. And then, not just to do that, and then to have Carmella come in and try to punk her out, and then Vicky to deck her like
Right.
that. Oh, it was magnificent. It was so good. It was so damn good. And then to everybody's credit, when Asuka came in, she didn't clean house. I like that. Like, it wasn't like Asuka
Right.
came in and just got rid of everybody and it was all Asuka all the time.
That was Nia Jax.
That was, I'm telling you what, man.
Man, I wanted her to win so bad. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but
Nia Jax is so much potential there. There's nothing but potential there that they don't know what to do with. And I am just thinking, just make her the Braun of the women's division.
yes, make her Braun
Just-
and make
Make her Alexa's heavy. And because
Yes.
she can do it, she can be the muscle and have that be, yes, eventually she's going to turn on her and there's going to be the challenge for the title
Right.
and all this, but let that build. Let
let them have
Alexa,
some fun.
yeah, and let Alexa even lose the title and keep them together as
Well,
like,
that's what. Yeah, totally. You
let-
have them lose the title, keep them together, have Nia go after it, and have Alexa be there for her.
Yeah, and it's, and then eventually it becomes the two of them. And then you can do the whole, they turn on each other bit. But by
Right.
that point, you have 2, 3, God, maybe even 4 years if you dare to long-term book something ever in this company anymore, which they don't. You could have this chemistry. And these two, if you gave them time to build and let Nia be the muscle and step in and have her own matches, but it gives her time to build chemistry with the fans and get better in the ring. She has gotten better since her debut. There is no question that, but yeah, there does need to be work still. But she can do it. She's shown the promise. She's shown the potential. She can do it. She can absolutely do it. But put her with Alexa and let that build for a while. Let that just be a thing for a few years. And then Nia wins a Rumble and goes on to WrestleMania, and
Alexa's jealous.
Exactly. Yeah. She's all happy for a friend and everything, but you should have been there. I was in the Rumble too, and Becky threw me over the top, and where, I needed you, and where were you? But they smooth it out. But it plants the seeds there, and Nia wins it that year, and it's great. And she goes on for the better part of the year or whatever. And at the next Royal Rumble, a SmackDown star wins, and so it's somebody else's problem. And then you have Alexa turn on Nia. and
Yeah.
then you have that match at WrestleMania, and it would be
Have Alexa and Nia in one match for the championship, and the other side should be Sasha and Bailey.
yes, I would love that. There's a double
Well,
main event for you.
what I like about Nia and Alexa is they are not the Four Horsemen, but they have made a name for themselves.
Yes.
And they have outshined some of them in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Where they didn't have that. They were like the other girls. They weren't the four that everyone were looking at, and they they fought every way to get where they're at.
Yeah,
So
but Carmella too.
yeah, same with Carmella. Yeah,
Who's
absolutely.
like not one of the shining spotlight people, but
Yep.
went out and was just like, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna make this work,
Hmm.
and did. And Alexa, God, I think they're gonna put a collection for Alexa on the network if they haven't already.
They just announced it.
Did
Yeah.
they? I can't wait because I really hope it has some of the early stuff where it wasn't the Twisted Bliss. It was called the Sparkle Splash,
Right.
which was hilarious. And you look at that back then and you think, okay, this is your standard creator wrestler. Like, this is the default setting. So where do we go from here? And she didn't really find it really not until she did the Harley Quinn cosplay deal after she got to the main roster.
Hmm.
That was where she really found it. And just ran. That's where we got Twisted Bliss and all of this. Like, it's
Yeah.
just,
So on February 5th, it's called Alexa Bliss 5 Feet of Fury.
yeah.
And it has all of her best matches, and it has everything. It has her intro, Alexa's take, never one to be humble. Alexa Bliss opens up about her impactful. Yeah, so it's like this huge collection where you can go and click that, and it has all of like her highlights and stuff like that.
Her actual like debut was as a guest ring announcer
Right.
at one of the events. Like, and it was adorable because it was like the cute and the blonde and blah 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 blah, and you look at this and you think, oh, this is not going to go anywhere.
Right.
And she found that lane, and
Well,
damn if she hasn't just made it work. It's
I
crazy.
saw her for one of the first characters she was trying to do was a southern country
Yes.
girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
That didn't work.
and it talked about a little bit about how she was with Blake and Murphy.
Yeah.
She was put in with them, and then she was the one that was called up, and they were split apart.
Yeah.
And she's with the Murphy guy, so that's got to be hard. Be called up, you're not, and then she is, and like that. I wonder.
Yeah.
And is he doing anything on NXT?
I haven't been watching NXT, but
Yeah.
he's
That's gotta be rough.
He's working on a new stable, I think. Like there's a
Okay.
new group they're trying to form, I think.
Oh, okay. That's
But
good. They need to get him up there so that they can see each other.
it was just that thing of like Blake and Murphy were just. It really was like, oh, there's these two guys that wrestle. Okay, what's their gimmick? Well, they're called Blake and Murphy. And that
Right.
was it. Like they weren't. They just
Nothing
weren't captivating.
stands out.
No, but
Right.
you could see like she had something.
Right.
You could absolutely see it, and it just took her a little bit to find it. And man, when she did, holy crap!
Yeah.
But then we get through the women's rumble, and they tease us with a Bella. They're like, no, it's good. It's a Bella and Asuka, and it's like if you have a Bella win this match, they would have set that arena on fire.
Yeah,
They would-
just like if it was a Roman. They were smart. They knew what they were doing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But so Asuka won, and they're like, okay, now you get to pick which champion are you gonna face, and then cue the music.
Right.
And because nobody had really pointed at the WrestleMania sign much that night, we have Ronda Rousey come out and make up for everybody.
Right.
I love it, and she is awesome, and I really. It does seem like this isn't just a cup of coffee. Like she's not just cashing in to say like, oh, I because of my
She's all in.
it's like because
She's
it,
a
well
full schedule.
yeah, she's not all in because that's a Bullet Club show. She's not gonna be there.
Right.
But,
That's true.
but,
That's true.
but no, like
That would be cool.
I'm telling you what, man. But like she's fully committed to this and is gonna like actually do this, and I am genuinely excited because I really think this is gonna be something to see.
I like her package, the whole Roddy Piper thing.
Well, I mean, that was her thing before. Like that was her
Right,
thing from back when, and
right.
she and Piper gave her like his blessing to have the logo and the font and
She
to
got the
use the name.
jacket from his son,
His son
apparently.
gave her that jacket. Yeah, that was one of Roddy's own jackets.
So she's filming a movie right now, so I guess when she's done with that, she's going to show up. I'm
Yeah,
confused because there's the Elimination Chamber, and Alexa's in that too, correct?
correct. Yeah, they're gonna have a
Okay.
women's elimination chamber match too. So that's gonna be.
I wonder if Alexa's going to be. She should be at Mania versus.
It'll be. Oh yeah, she'll retain.
Yeah. Um. So it's going to be Alexa versus. Did
Asuka.
Asuka say she wanted?
It'll be Asuka. I don't think
Okay.
they've cleaned it out yet, but it's gonna be Asuka.
So you think they'll put her? Do you think they'll put Ronda against? Do you think she'd go against the SmackDown champion,
What
Charlotte?
everybody is forgetting the four horsewomen. I I really think they are setting up the four horsewomen of UFC.
It's too soon
I
this year.
I don't think because they teased it at the Mae Young Classic.
Well, they don't
teased-
have them. They don't have the four on the main roster.
No, but bring the other two in. Who the hell cares?
That's what I'm saying. I can see that next year.
I don't know if you wait.
It's too soon. They can't just jump to Mania. How would you tell that story? How would you get them together? How would it?
It's the four horsewomen versus the four horsewomen. Like
Yeah, but they're all on different.
so here's your big cross promotional brand match. Like just
There's not enough time. She's in a movie and everything right now. There's no way they could do that.
I don't know if you need the story for that or not.
I think what they're gonna do is it's gonna be Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus The Rock and her
that I wouldn't mind seeing.
in a mixed tag team match. Yeah.
I would be all right with that. I kind of think that's where they were headed after. Like I think that was everybody when she showed up
That's
that
the easy
year.
way out. I think they could do.
Yeah, I think you could do that.
Because
But,
I mean, she is a big draw. She's probably the biggest draw they have right now. So of course they're going to put her at Mania somewhere. But I also feel for the people who've been there for a while that like they deserve a Mania moment as well. You know?
And I completely understand that. But there's,
I want them to have another ladder match or something for the women's title. Like that would be cool. You know, get them all in there. Get them all have their moments because it's too big now to like.
Yeah.
To have everyone have their,
You'll have here's if I'm gonna fantasy book Mania now that we're starting to get closer. I want to see. I think you could do Rousey Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think you could do that match and it would be good. We see Alexa Asuka, no doubt. We know Styles knock. We pretty if I'm fantasy booking this, I want Braun Lesnar.
Yeah, I want Braun Lesnar too, but think about it. If Braun is not in that main event, what does he do?
The rumor going around is the IC title, and I don't want that.
Oh God, no, not at all.
I think that's terrible because the IC title is not for somebody like him. It's not.
No.
It's just not. It's not the right place for it.
No. It's Macho Man. That's Chris Jericho. That's The Miz. And honestly, I think The Miz could have a total run at the move him to SmackDown and have him go after the WWE Championship. I think The Miz should totally hold that for a while.
I think we could give him another shot because nobody remembers the last time he held it.
Yeah, and he deserves it now. Like he deserves a mega push after the year he's had.
Agreed. I agree. I think that what's going to wind up happening, Miz is going to hold that title until Mania, and he'll lose, and then he'll take a little time off to be a new dad, and then
that's true. The birth of his kid is like 3 days before Mania.
Yeah, so he's gonna lose it. He's gonna lose the title at Mania, and in story, kayfabe, he'll go sulk, and it'll be like, oh, he got beat. He's a crybaby. When actually he'll be home being a new dad, and that'll be great. And then he'll come back and go big.
Right.
I think post draft. I actually think because they're gonna. I think they're gonna do a draft after Mania. I think they have to. They have to do another superstar shakeup or whatever the hell they want to call it. Because it's time, so we'll shuffle things around a little bit.
For sure. They should do it. I wish they'd do it now, but I know they can't because
wait until
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
right?
wait until after Mania. Do it like a week or two after. Like they did with the last one, which was after. I don't remember when the last one was. To be honest with you, but I think
SummerSlam or something like that.
Something, but I think you do. I think you do Miz Reigns at Mania for the IC title because that's the feud that's going. For tag titles, you do Usos, Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
For the Raw side, you do Revival and the Bar, and because I think that could be a hell of a match. I think you do. I don't know what you do with Balor Club. I don't know because I would have loved to have seen Balor Club Shield, but that won't work.
They just kind of
this.
buried them in the last few days.
A little bit.
Brought them up. They brought them up for Raw. They were like, "Yeah, you guys are the new DX, whatever, Bullet Club." And then they buried them.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
I think you have to do something with Balor Club, but I don't know what. I really hope. Well, in the dream world, I wouldn't have even Roman in any of those matches, and I'd have the Shield versus the Balor Club. Yeah, that would be ideal, but we're not going to have Dean by then.
You can do the Balor Club versus New Day.
I will go for that. There we go. I would be happy to see Balor Club New Day.
Cool guys versus the goofy guys. It'd be
it.
Totally
It would be the Balor Club versus guys who are very proudly self-proclaimed nerds.
Right. They need to get rid of that nerd shirt though, because that's not. I want them all to wear Balor Club stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and they should all come out to the same music and not to the. It's dumb they do that. Yeah. Like they should all come out to Balor stuff, or or the club. Just call it the club. It doesn't have to be Balor Club. Well, but we all get it.
It's Balor Club. It started as Balor Club, and so I'm all right with that. But let that be that. Yeah, Balor Club New Day is good. That's good. I like that. We have got to finally blow off Bray and Matt.
Yeah.
That has to happen and be done. Like that's got to be done, buried, and gone at Mania. We have who are we missing? Seth and Jason Jordan.
What they should do is have Jeff show up, and then have Bo show up. So like it could be the brothers.
But they're not gonna
get Bo in there somehow.
Bo's gonna be with the Miztourage.
I know. I want him to work with Bray, but I guess he doesn't want to work with his brother. He wants to be his own thing.
Look how well that's going for him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh man, it would be so cool. That would be awesome to see them finally. People would go crazy for that.
It would be cool, and that could be something that leads to the end of the Miz's Intercontinental title reign too.
Yeah,
like that. That becomes part of it. So all right, because we'll get Jeff back by then, right? He'll be healed up by Mania, I hope. So we'll have the Hardy Boys versus the Wyatt Boys. I'm good with that. The broken Hardys. I don't care. I'll still call them broken. I don't give a damn. Versus Bo and Bray.
Right.
But so we'll do that. Seth and Jason Jordan, because there's nothing else for either of them to do. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know about the SmackDown side. I don't know what you do with Sammy and Kevin.
Have them fight each other in a cage match.
But do you break them up by then, or do you just let them run for a while? I think maybe we just let them run for a little bit, because they're so good together. They're so good. I think you keep them together. So it's Kevin and Sammy versus who? And I don't know who you put them against.
Rusev Day.
You could do Rusev Day. Yeah, I guess.
Or you can do Shane McMahon and...
Yeah, but and who, though? Because you can't put Bryan in the ring. Brian's not going to wrestle again. Deal with it. It's over.
Right. Well, he will, just not for the WWE.
Yeah, that's his call, I guess.
I listened to a podcast where he's like, I'm 100% certain I'm wrestling again. I'm 20% certain it will be in the WWE.
What was that before he had a kid?
Yeah, this was like a month or so ago. I'm sorry, let me
awesome.
phrase it. He said, I'm 85% sure, and Bree says I'm 100% sure. But I'm 20% sure I'll be in, and it'll be for the WWE. And this was just a few weeks ago. He was on the same whatever show. So yeah, like he wants to do it, but he'll do it at his own pace. Like if he goes and does it for New Japan, it doesn't have to be a full-time thing. It'd be like what Jericho does.
True, but
You just get a few matches and do Wrestle
yeah.
Kingdom, or you do the All In or something like that, and stuff like that.
Honest to God, if his contract is up before All In, and he shows up in a Bullet Club shirt, the entire IWC is going to just explode.
Did you see what happened to Bullet Club?
I saw what happened to Bullet Club. I like what happened to Bullet Club.
Are they broken up or?
I don't care. I'm saying hashtag Cody Club. I don't care.
Hashtag Cody Club.
I think it's interesting though because I think the whole elite is going.
But the crazy thing is their merchandise is out the charts right now.
Well, you can have Young Bucks and Kenny merchandise and elite merchandise outside of Bullet Club.
Yeah, but like it's the most popular thing on the planet right now for wrestling.
Yeah, but eventually that's got to end though.
Yeah,
and
I thought they would do like a whole Bullet Club Wolfpack thing.
No, God, no, please, no. That was the death of the NWO. Was when they were like, we have so many people that everybody's NWO, but some people are NWO Wolfpack. No, that was the death of it. That was
I loved the Wolfpack. I love the Wolfpack stuff with Sting and Luger and
no, just everybody's NWO is the bottom line here.
Like, well, that was the whole idea they were going for because they were going to have NWO on one show. For like the Thursday show or whatever, they were gonna have WCW as the Monday show, and then they would have their own like kind of like how they're doing SmackDown and Raw now.
But it just
that was the idea before it all went under.
Yeah, but like it was just a bad idea,
right?
And I don't want for as much as Bullet Club started as an NWO knockoff, I don't want it to end the same way where like everybody's Bullet Club, but some people are more Bullet Club than others. Like I don't know.
I'm thinking probably Kenny and them want their own. They want to be able to take that wherever they go, and it's theirs. The Elite.
Oh yeah, the Elite is theirs. That's right. That's absolutely theirs.
So the Bullet Club they couldn't bring to the WWF.
No, Bullet Club is a New Japan owned deal.
Right.
Right. And
it makes sense.
And there'll be a year, and it'll end like that'll be the big blow off match. Will be the Elite. With fourth member Kota Ibushi apparently, versus Bullet Club, I imagine,
right?
Or some amalgamation of that will be Wrestle Kingdom next year,
right?
And that'll be the big deal. So and it'll end. I don't know how the tag match will end. Maybe the Young Bucks lose, because I kind of see it split 2, maybe 3 ways. If you do all of them, then it ends the same way the singles match would end, which would be Omega pins Cody.
Yeah.
I see it going out that way. So Kenny goes out, the hero and the winner, and blah, blah, blah. And gets a big send-off. I think if they do that next year, then we see the Elite come to WWE.
Right.
No question.
And then they can beef against the Balor Club.
Right, oh man, wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be great.
Like let's see that. Let's see the Elite versus Balor Club. I'll take that. I will take that.
Oh
yeah. I don't know what to do with the rest of SmackDown. We'll stick Baron Corbin somewhere and he can beat up somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're starting to get this picture a lot more clearly now with the Rumble. But,
it's definitely, yeah. Oh yeah.
It's Styles Nakamura at WrestleMania. What a time to be a wrestling fan.
Well, yeah, it seems like they finally started listening to people, but it won't last long. They gave us that because they're not going to put Strowman in the main match.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, because they know if they put Reigns there, nobody wants to see that again. Like
right,
they're going to put the title on him, but I don't even think that's going to be the main event. I think they will put Styles Knock in the main event. And here's the thing. I don't care who wins that match.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me. Like, no matter what, the audience wins. Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that match is going to happen is a win. The fact that it's going to happen at WrestleMania is a win. The fact that it's for the WWE title is a win. The fact that it's probably going to be the main event, that's a win. Like, it doesn't matter. Styles retains, great. Knock wins, great. That could go either way, and I don't care. And I mean that.
I think they'd give it to Nakamura, but I completely agree.
Yeah, like it could go, and I don't mean like, oh, I don't care. I mean like it doesn't.
Right.
I am perfectly happy either way.
Right.
I would love for it to be Nakamura, but
Yeah.
I just either way, man.
I think
good.
they're trying to. I think they're trying to really show like New Japan, like you were doing something with the people who decided to come here.
Yeah.
Finally starting to do something with Nakamura, but
yeah, after Jericho went over to New Japan and had a hell of a match.
yeah, I think they're seeing that and they're like, oh shit, these guys are doing it better than we are, and we have every tool in the toolbox. We should be doing it 10 times better.
Yes.
And that's the whole deal. That's the whole idea with struggling, is that when you're struggling, you're going to push the limits and you're going to put on the best shit you can, to where it's not a knock if someone goes to New Japan. Like if Daniel Bryan goes there, I'm there. I'm in. I'm ready to watch it. You know what I mean?
I'm worried about him trying to wrestle that style though, man. I really am.
It would be a completely different kind of style.
It'd be his old style.
No. He's talked about it. Like you don't watch Total Divas, you don't know this.
No.
But he's talked about this at length about how it would be completely different. He would be almost on the mat the entire time he's wrestling, and like he's talked about how if he goes against someone like Brock or whatever, it would be where he's chopping at the legs. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's not jumping at all from the top rope. And it's a completely different kind of style. At least that's what he's saying on Total Divas.
Yeah.
I think he's doing everything he can to be like, I need to get back in the ring. But then he got vertigo and everything else, and it's like, oh, you probably shouldn't.
It's not. D-Bry should not be wrestling anymore. I know he's got that fire, and it's killing him because he can't, because he physically shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
We have all seen this in so many different athletes in particular, of like, no, you really shouldn't be doing this. This is not a Rocky movie where it's like, you shouldn't be doing this, but then he goes out and he wins and eventually things work out. He's not Rocky in these instances. He's Apollo.
Right.
And we know what happened to Apollo. And we don't want that to happen to Daniel. So you just he's got to find something else, man, for his own safety. I really
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. But I think that's it for the show, man. We've gone on a long time.
Yeah, I think 3.5 hours is good enough.
Yes, so make sure you go. Make sure you give us a review, give us a comment on our iTunes. Make sure you go to our Facebook group, We Geek Podcast, our Twitter at We Geek Podcast, at the Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. Shoot us an email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll be back next week. We'll talk all about this.
And YouTube. Don't forget our YouTube.
Yes. We're all of our episodes are now up on YouTube. So if that is your place of choice, definitely go there. And we'll be back next week. And I'll hopefully see a movie, even though I say that every week. But everything else gets in the way, as is life. But we'll be back next week. Captain.